Hello, 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 everybody. Ah, so what's up, Brooklyn Squad? How is everybody doing? Hmm. Welcome to Brooklyn Squad, real life, where we cover real life crimes. Any crimes that happens, I will cover it. Any crimes that happen, I will cover it. Today we are on day 4. Oh, woo, this trial is hectic, y'all. When I tell you the trial is hectic, the trial is hectic. We are on day 4 with the Adam Montgomery trial. Now, there has been a lot of things on this trial, okay? There has been a lot of emotions. I'm going to just say it like that. There's a lot of emotions going on, all right? And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about with us. Okay, there's a lot of emotions with us when it comes to this child because listen, she was 5 years old. Okay, 5 years old. The things that was done to her when she was alive and when she was unalive is despicable. It's bad enough that I found out by the biological mother that she was blind in one eye, so she already had complications. Then for you to go and do what you did to abuse this little girl, mistreat this little girl, basically all the anger that he had with Harmony's mother, it went on to her. That's what it sounded like. And I said that before that they looked just alike. So I wonder if he was so angry and so upset with the mother, he just took all that anger out on this little girl. It's a shame. Give me 1 second. Okay. It really is a shame. Um oh, but baby, we're gonna get right into the trial. So let's go. So put your prayer warriors on. You got your punching bag or your box of napkins, cause it be getting emotional up in here, y'all. It gets emotional. But we're gonna get right into it. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Grizzy Bear. Grizzy, she does an amazing job actually. And before I even go into that, I want to put her information down there, okay, to let people know to go show her some love and, go check out her channel and everything, okay? Because anytime I am using someone's content of a reaction video or any of their content, I'm going to show them love regardless. That's just me, okay? Um, so yes, please go check her out. She's really good and she has a good sense of humor, and that's what I like about her as well. She does great content. So go check her out. I'm going to hit her thumbs up actually. And let's get into the video. Since it's trial 4. So the Harmony stepmother is taking a stand from before. Remember, they had to stop it because she was getting migraines. Well, imagine how Harmony felt, you know? Okay.
When on Friday we were talking about getting ready to sit down and talk to police after you were arrested on 2 charges of perjury.
Yes.
and you told the police that you wanted to talk to him, but it took a while before you actually talked to him because they had to contact your attorney and write up the letter that set out the terms of what would happen to you based on what you said.
Yes.
And essentially, those terms were that what you said couldn't be used against you, but would be used as a gauge for whether or not they wanted to enter into an agreement with you, right?
Yes.
And so if you said something that hurt you, they wouldn't be able to say Kayla admitted to this and charge you with a crime, right?
Right.
But at the same time, if they found evidence independently to support what you said and that you committed a new crime, they could.
You know what the beauty is of starting a little later? Is that we can set custom speed. So I'm going to play this at 1.1 speed, okay? So that it's just a more bearable pace for us, all right, with this cross-examination. I think it's by the sounds of it already, it's gonna be a lot of the same questions of like, you're a liar, you lied, so you lied, and then you lied. And let's hope new information comes out from this today. But Friday probably gave us all a migraine, honestly. Let's continue.
Charge you.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine. And so this agreement did not include those conditions that you had written while you were in your jail cell thinking of cooperating, right?
Yes.
Because they had not come to you with any sort of cooperation agreement.
Right.
Okay. Now, you knew in going to talk to them that they wanted information about Harmony being missing, right?
Yes.
Whether or not she was alive,
Yes.
when she went missing,
Yes.
under what circumstances she went missing.
Yes.
And these are things that you had been thinking about since the time of your arrest, right?
Yes.
And when you first told the lie to the police and to the grand jury that the last time you saw Harmony, she was driving away with Adam to be taken to her mother, follow-up showed that not to be true, and you knew it, right?
Yes.
And one of the ways that you knew it, other than what you had lived through, but you knew they had found it not to be true, was that you had seen and heard Crystal Sorey talking on the news about her missing child, right?
I didn't see that right when they were questioning me.
Okay. It had been going on for a little bit, though, right?
Yes.
And also, while you were in your jail cell, you got what's called discovery, right?
Yes.
And that is police reports and searches and the results of all that stuff that is sent to you as a part of you being charged for a crime, right?
Yes.
And that discovery included.
It's quite weird how with the defense attorney, yes, her demeanor, Kayla's, is very, very different, of course, from what we saw earlier in the day on Friday with the state prosecutor, right? But she also gets like this vocal fry with the defense attorney. Like, why? Also, Joe Ellie says, aren't those reading glasses? They could be. And I was actually wondering why she wasn't wearing them on Friday, because at the weapons trial, she had glasses on all the time. So, yeah, she's got her glasses again. Maybe they gave her a migraine on Friday to not be wearing her reading glasses. Trying to look at, I don't know. Anyway, let's continue.
The investigation into Harmony being missing.
Yes.
And it included the charge of the reports and stuff on the charge of second-degree assault against Adam.
Yes.
And so you knew what people had said to the police and stuff about that second-degree assault charge.
Yes.
And you also knew that the charge was for Adam striking Harmony in the face.
Yes.
And you knew that there was a claim of black eyes from that, right?
Yes.
Megan said.
And when you told the police
Megan something else, right?
your story
You got a
of
migraine for
what
trying
happened to
to keep all her
Harmony,
lies straight.
the allegation that you had was striking her in the face, right?
Yes.
Girl,
And
I know.
you included a story of black eyes.
Yes.
Imagine
All
how
right,
that poor
so-
baby felt. How you doing today, Megan?
The next thing I want to talk about is the timeline of your
Better keep them
accusations
lies
against
going.
Adam.
What she gonna be doing the rest of that time?
So on June 3rd, you met with the police for a pretty long time, right?
Yes.
And it was the meeting that you had was audio and video recorded.
Yes.
And your lawyer was present.
Yes.
And the police were generally the ones asking questions.
Yes.
But there was somebody from the Attorney General's office who was also present.
Yes.
And then after that interview, and it was fairly long, right?
Yes.
There was a break in between, but between the two of them, it was really long.
Yes.
And then you got booked for the perjury charges.
Yes.
Oh shit!
And during booking, you said something to Detective Dunleavy about Portland pie,
Yes.
and that Adam had taken the body to Portland pie from the freezer and then returned it to Union Street later.
Yes.
That's still one of the scariest visuals in my mind. There's many of them in this case, but with Kayla Montgomery taking a double stroller with her boys in it, one in the front, one in the back, right? And in between them, putting this CMC bag with Harmony's body in, wheeling it down. I think it was Elm Street, really, like wheeling it down to the Portland Pie Company. Oh my word, that's so scary.
The plea agreement, well, then you talked again on the June 23rd.
Yes.
And on June 23rd, that was also audio and video recorded.
Yes.
And about the same amount of people were there.
Yes.
And generally the same people.
Yes.
And after that, you did reach your deal, right?
Yes.
But, and you were out for the interview on June 23rd. You were back out on bail, right?
Yes.
And then, as we talked about, sometime in September, you got arrested and reincarcerated.
Yes.
And then sometime after that, you and your attorney you got an agreement with the state.
Yes.
And under that agreement, you could serve a minimum of 2 years.
I don't remember.
I think you testified on direct that you got a 3.5 to 7 suspended and a 3.5 to 7 to serve, but you could get out. You could get 1.5 years suspended off of that, right?
Yes.
So that would be a minimum of 2 years.
Yes.
And you also got credit for the time that you had put in while on bail.
Yes.
And so your parole hearing comes up in a month or two?
May.
May? Okay.
Ooh, her parole hearing coming up in May. She could be released after that pretty soon, which I don't know about. I don't feel good about that. I can't even say I don't know how I feel about that. The more I think about it, remember at first it's like, okay, give them a benefit of the doubt. Let's hear them out. But then the more that it went on and on Friday, I'm like, this lady should be in there for way longer, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Said
Someone
that.
said, is he in court today?
Yeah.
I do not believe so. When I've looked at, just before we started there, as they filtered into the courtroom there, before Kayla was on there, no, didn't see him in court. So I think he chickened out again, which is just horrifying that he has the right to do that. I hate it. I wish they could, put him in a wheelchair and just wheel him in there. Be at your own
You know
trial, man.
what?
He refuses to be strip searched. So if you missed that on Friday, that is the reason he's giving for why he doesn't want to be in court, even though he was in court every single day for his weapons trial. For this one, he says, nope, not getting strip searched. And so he's not going.
He's a coward because he know what happens when you go to court. It's not like it's not like this ain't his first time going to court. Look at his rap sheet. Okay? He's been locked up plenty of times and he should have been stayed locked up. Okay? So for his excuse to say, "Oh, I don't want to come to court because I don't want to be strip searched," is a bunch of bull crap. That's a bunch of bull crap. He is a coward. And how could they even allow that to happen? I would have he has to come to court. Give him a summons or something. He has to come. You're already in the pens. Come to court. Face what you've done. What he doing? Watching a football game or some shit? The fuck? It's crazy.
Okay, then.
Now, after you reached the agreement, you pled to that agreement
Okay for him not to come to court.
in
Come on now.
November of
Yes.
It's not okay.
2022.
Yes.
And then in March of 2023, you had another meeting with the same group of people.
Yes.
And where was that meeting?
At the Attorney General's office in Concord.
And you were housed in the New Hampshire State Prison for Women at that time, right?
Yes.
And you were transported from the prison to the Attorney General's office to talk to him.
Yes.
And that interview was also recorded and video recorded.
Yes.
And generally, the police were asking the questions,
Yes.
and the prosecutor from the state might ask a few.
Yes.
But he was there for the whole thing watching.
Yes.
And then, so that was March of 2023. And then this December of 2023, you met with the state again, right?
Yes.
And was that the same sort of thing where you were transported from the prison to the Attorney General's office?
No.
Where was that meeting?
At the Women's State Prison.
Okay. And who was present for that?
Myself and Chris and my lawyer and Amy.
And Amy's somebody who works with the Attorney General's office?
Yes, she's an advocate.
Okay. And there you were not recorded, right?
No.
And that meeting was also a long meeting?
Yes.
Reviewing things that you had said before?
Yes.
Reviewing what your testimony was?
Oh, a lot of questions and just yes. Yes. I wish there was more than that, right? Tell us more, Kayla. Also, Kim Verhoff says, I understand she was young and scared and on drugs, but her lying could mean he gets not guilty. Also, her still wanting to be with him. That's exactly the moment when I was like, yeah, I don't have empathy for her. Because to be able to not only watch him allegedly murder a 5-year-old girl, okay, but then also carry her body around for months, and then Kayla helped cut Harmony's hoodie off. Oh my word, that was like three or so months after Harmony had died.
That he looked
To watch Adam Montgomery then do what he did, she saw, he was busy in the bathroom. And then
Where
doesn't know
you
what
at,
happened after
sir?
that.
Exactly, Megan.
Yeah, and then you still want to be with him? Oh no.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
It would be a trial.
Yes.
Questioning some things that you had to say.
Yes.
And I think I said it, but it was not recorded.
Right.
And then you met with them again in January.
Yes.
Same sort of situation.
Yes.
That was around January 10.
Yes.
And was that about as long?
Yeah.
Going through all the stuff that you had said before.
Yes.
Questioning you on the stuff that you had said before.
Yes.
And getting ready to testify here.
Yes.
And then January 19, you met with them again?
January what?
19?
Yes.
And same situation?
Yes.
so that you're going over what you'd said before,
Yes.
going over what you're going to say to the jury.
Yes.
And there might be some questions about what you said before, and so you kind of go back through it and work through that.
Yes.
And that was that it as far as meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
He's definitely a coward.
And during all that
That's the
time,
way
you
they
had
like
plenty of time to review in your mind your memories and talk about things that you had said.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about some of the things that you've said to the jury and before the jury trial, okay?
Yes.
So you talked about after your eviction, which was November 27,
Yes.
you lived in your car for about 2 weeks.
Yes, a few weeks.
From November 27 to the day it broke down on December 7.
Yes.
A little under 2 weeks.
I thought I put it up there and it was the wrong one.
And as you're evicted, you take some items with you.
Yes.
Take some clothing for the kids.
Yes.
You take the toothbrush for Harmony.
Yes.
Make sure she can brush her teeth while she's in the car.
Yes, we all had toothbrushes.
Huh?
We all had toothbrushes.
Okay, so Declan and Seamus also were brushing their teeth?
Well, they had baby toothbrushes.
Okay. And so you made sure that you packed those things that the kids need for their hygiene.
Yes.
And some clothes for each of them.
Yes.
In addition to what they were wearing.
Yes.
And then you probably got some extra bibs and stuff for when you're feeding Declan.
Yes.
And diapers.
Yes.
And food.
Yes.
Okay. And extra underpants for Harmony.
I don't remember.
Okay. You had outerwear for the kids.
Yes.
She doesn't remember if there was extra underwear for Harmony, even though Harmony had lots of accidents from all the fear and the trauma, probably. I'm speculating that. But also because they're living in a car. I mean, how must Harmony know how to ask and when to ask to go to the bathroom? It's not like they're in a house and she's just making accidents, which happens too from fear and trauma, like living in a car. And that is why, allegedly, Adam Montgomery hit Harmony so much on an ongoing basis, not just that one day on December 7th of 2019. Many times because she was having accidents in the car. But still, I mean, to live in the car, and shame, when they found that car 2 years later, they actually found Harmony's Troll's toothbrush in it, which is also interesting. I don't know if they found the other kids' toothbrushes or theirs, but they specifically mentioned Harmony's Troll's toothbrush, which had her DNA on it. Like, oh my goodness. This one just like, yes. Thank you so much all for being here. If you're brand new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Please like and share, not because you like
I want to see what
the topic. It's very grim. It's very devastating, but because you like the way that I present true crime. And if anyone's asking why are we behind in the feed? Why do we start late? You'll see. We start late so we could just skip right over those coffee breaks, the long silent sidebars, the lunch break. We could just power right through. Teleport, as we say over here. Okay.
Coats and shoes.
Yes.
And socks.
Yes.
And the next day was Thanksgiving.
Somebody said, where was Harmony?
And do you recall where you stayed on Thanksgiving?
Right.
No, I don't remember.
You didn't celebrate a Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day, right?
No.
Okay. And the day after Thanksgiving, you went to your mom's house.
Yes.
And you went the day after Thanksgiving to see if she could put you up.
Underwear for little Harmony?
And she wasn't able to.
No.
But you were there at her house for a while.
Yes.
And you used that time to clean up the kids.
Yes.
Because they had been in the car the night before.
Yes.
And to clean them up a lot better than just wiping the boys when you change their diapers, right?
Yes.
And brushing their teeth.
Yes.
And
Oh man, Stefan says, what year, Caroline? I know, right? She jumps from like 2021, 22, 23, and now she's back to 2019. So if anyone feels lost, we're looking at the
Hey,
time frame
Kathy
now in
B.
this questioning from November 27th to December 7th of 2019. It took over 2 years for anyone to know that Harmony was even missing. Kayla and Adam hid that information from everyone and blocked everyone on social media, including Harmony's biological mother,
Oh, you
Crystal, who
have
was
no
on the stand
sound?
on the first day. So if you or the second day, the first day was a jury view, day 2 of the trial. Okay, so if you go to that one, yes, they blocked her as well. People were looking for Harmony. It took 2.5 years to really get the investigation going because of Kayla keeping Adam's dirty little secrets. And they really are filthy, vile, horrendous, unforgettable secrets.
And changing their clothes.
Yes.
Did you use her laundry while you were there?
I don't remember.
Okay. And your mom took that time to get to know her grandchildren,
Yes.
including Harmony.
Yes.
And she couldn't put you up, so you had to leave.
Yes.
And you stayed in the car that night.
Yes.
And then that was, by the way, November 29, the day after Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
And that's the same day that you had a car accident, right?
29th, yes.
Okay. And that was a car accident with Tabitha Scott in the front seat, you in the back seat with the kids.
Yes.
And Adam driving.
Yes.
Sorry. And police came after the accident.
Yes.
And you had Declan in a car seat.
Yes.
Seamus was in some sort of.
He was in a car seat.
Okay. And Harmony was not.
No.
You did not have a car seat for Harmony, right?
Right.
And you were in the back, so she wasn't in a seatbelt either, right?
No.
And that was a problem when the police officer came, right?
Yes.
And blanket was thrown over Harmony and she was told to hide so that the police officer wouldn't know that you had too many kids in the car and one was unrestrained.
Let's see what she answers, but that is not why, apparently, from everything we've read in the probable cause affidavit and all the things we've done in the trial prep. If you missed it, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are available as trial prep episodes for you on the playlist. But they said that Adam covered Harmony with a blanket then. That was the car accident day, November 29th, and other times, right? So that the police wouldn't see the bruises that she had. She was apparently covered in bruises from his abuse. Okay, let's see what Kayla says.
No.
Okay. You were hiding the fact that you did not have Harmony restrained in the back seat at the time of the accident.
Yes.
And then Adam had his license at that time, right?
I don't remember if he lost it then or not.
Okay. Well, he was able to drive away from there after the police officer talked to you all, right?
Yes.
So he probably had his license, right?
Probably, yes.
Okay. And Tabitha Scott, your friend that was in the car at the time of the accident, she was a friend, right?
Yes.
And she really liked Harmony, right?
Yes.
She would play with Harmony, right?
Yes.
And sometimes play dress up and stuff like that with her, right?
No, but okay. I don't remember that happening.
Okay.
See, there's that vocal fry again. No, I don't remember that happening. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man, Kayla. Just spill it. Okay, so A. Heineman said, why do we assume that only Adam abused Harmony? We don't assume that, especially after Friday. Oh, no, it's just such a horrifying thought. Because neglect is also abuse. You know, maybe Kayla just completely turned a blind eye and just completely
She's out
neglected
of it
Harmony, which is
also.
more what it sounds like.
Kayla.
Don't know if she would have physically abused her or whatever. I think
I don't
she would
know.
have
She took
neglected
some
her,
extra method
in
on,
my opinion,
but she fucked up.
which is abuse. Okay.
Remember taking photographs and like photoshopping them to put stuff on them and stuff like that in
Yes.
photographs? Okay. And
Sorry. I clicked on
Tabitha
something
was
now.
somebody that you would have babysit the kids sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes it would just be Harmony and you would take the two boys with you, or sometimes she might do all three.
Yes.
And
Just hold on.
your accident on the 29th, Do you recall that being in the afternoon?
I don't remember.
Okay. And do you recall if you went to your mom's before or after that?
Sorry about that. I double clicked on Nightbot by mistake. Nightbot, don't distract us now. Okay, sorry about that. We're back.
I think I went to my mom's later that night.
Okay. And Harmony did not have black eyes when you went to your mom's,
No.
right? So she did not have black eyes when she was in that accident, right?
No.
Pardon?
No.
Okay. Now,
She might be on a high dose. Yeah, because she was doing if she was doing heroin
December
crack and all that stuff,
1st.
they would have her on a decent dose,
Well, that was an accident on the 29th, and you made up a lie about November 30th. What did you actually do on November 30th?
I don't remember.
Okay. About December 1, do you know what you did that day?
No.
Do you know where you stayed?
In the car?
Do you know where the car was?
No.
Was it at Colonial Village?
I remember that's where we would normally park and sleep in the car.
Okay. You said that Anthony Bodero, and am I pronouncing that right? Bodero?
Yes.
Okay. That he would come down to the car while you were in the parking lot.
Yes.
And I think that you said that he would give you drugs.
Yes.
And that he would see Harmony during that less than 2 week period that you were in the car.
Yes.
And that he would come down, she would wave to him.
Yes.
And he would wave back.
Yes.
And Harmony was not under cover when she would wave to Anthony Berdero.
No.
And she was not hidden from public view or Anthony Bedero's view when he would come down in the morning.
No.
And I think that you said that he might come, maybe not every day, but pretty frequently.
Yes.
And he also brought you some Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yes.
And when he did that, he saw Harmony.
Yes.
Now, there was another accident on December 2nd. Do you remember that?
No.
Do you remember that you had another accident outside of the clinic after the accident on November 29?
Yes.
And that was during a time that you and Adam had been going to the clinic, right?
Yes.
And the kids were not with you at that time.
I don't remember if they were there or not.
Okay.
So they're talking about the methadone clinic where they went, okay? And we're hearing about another accident now because there was a car accident on November 29th. So someone in chat just asked, sorry, I just flew by. I couldn't see who it was now. Saying, isn't she testifying differently to when the prosecutor asked her questions about the accident? Just remember, from what we know so far, there's 2 separate days. There was this car accident on November 29th, and it's later on December 7th, about a week later, that Adam allegedly murdered Harmony Montgomery, and then the car died. So, man, the way they say that, and the way that Kayla and Adam seem to describe, the car died. Yeah, so did Harmony. The most important. But that was on December 7th. So November 29th. Now, Caroline Smith brought up here December 2nd. So I'm keen to hear what she says here about another accident. Wow. Okay.
So it is, and I think you said reviewing the accident report would not refresh your recollection? Or would it?
I don't remember.
If I gave you the accident report, do you think it might refresh your recollection?
I will try and remember.
Ing says, what was she on that she doesn't remember the second accident? Heroin, lots of that. And then, I don't know, it sounds like lots of things. Heroin, meth, all kinds of things. I'm not going to say all the trigger words for YouTube right now. YouTube will be like, I'm flagging this. Lots of them. But they got methadone as well, which is supposed to be treatment to help with overcoming that addiction. But it seemed to me like they were abusing that as well, because they would just numb themselves with the methadone they collected. And then later in the afternoon, like we heard on the day that Harmony died, they got methadone. Then they went, then Harmony apparently had an accident in the back of the car and Adam hit her a lot. They covered her with a blanket, went to Burger King, and then went to go get drugs. And this Anthony Badiro that they mentioned is also going to be on the stand sometime this week. And that's what they said last week. They said early next week. And he let them stay in his car after the car broke down for a bit. And wow, Kayla said that Harmony's body was in a duffel bag in his trunk too for a time, and in the snowbank so that Anthony Badiro wouldn't see. Oh my goodness. But he was also a dealer. He also provided them with substances. So I'm just giving you some info in case you forgot some of that or if you didn't know that.
Yeah, because I was going to say, wait a minute, who's Anthony?
I've got a 1, 2,
So I'm glad she said that.
3, 4-page document, and I've actually highlighted the date on the first page just because there's so much information. But do you think if you were
Yeah, she seems different from before, right, y'all?
recollection that your kids were not in the car?
I remember the accident, but I don't remember if the kids were in the car or not.
Okay.
Even looking at this, I don't remember. I just remember we were in an accident.
We're looking at her true colors.
Oh,
That's why she's terrible. You don't give a damn about that little girl. She never did.
And I think we talked about that.
Pause. Thank you so much, Kathleen R., for your $20 sticker. That is what I was saying about 5 minutes ago or so. Yes. Kayla was saying, to cover because she wasn't in a seatbelt, but she did say, you are right. Yeah, she did say that before, and we did know that information before as well, that they covered Harmony with the blanket so that people wouldn't see her bruises.
That a little bit on Friday, that the police asked you about that as well.
Yes.
During your interview, right?
Yes.
And that you said that maybe Tabitha or maybe your mom was babysitting the kids.
Yes.
So if you were in the accident and the kids were not with you, they would have been with somebody that you trusted to babysit them.
Yes.
Harmony would not have been hidden from whoever that babysitter was.
No.
Harmony would not have been hidden from public view.
No.
Harmony would not have been hidden under a blanket.
No.
Now, do you recall it snowing at all while you were staying at the Colonial Village parking lot?
I know that there was snow on and off.
Okay.
Right.
There was actually a bit of a storm. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And that was when you were parked at Colonial Village.
Yes.
I agree.
And did you go inside to the Bodero's residence during that storm?
I don't remember going in there.
Okay. Did you ever take the children into Mr. Bodero's residence to brush their teeth or to clean them up or anything like that?
I remember bringing the kids up to his apartment, but I don't remember when that was.
Okay. So let's talk about living in the car. You got a couple of boys that are quite young.
Yes.
One is about 11 months.
Yes.
And your other son was 2.5-ish.
Yes.
And they can only stay in the same position one time for a certain amount of time, right?
Right.
And then they
Right.
start getting pretty rambunctious, right?
Yes.
And fussy.
They were wasted every day.
And Declan, if he
Oh, man. There's also not a true crime case involving children where the word rambunctious isn't used. Huh? Oh, no.
They were
You guys
wasted.
remember
y'all.
that from the Cal City Boys case? Rambunctious.
Poor baby,
Not our
man.
favorite word. Reminds me of that case. Hope and Fear, thank you for sharing the sparkly purple hearts in honor of Harmony. Harmony's favorite color was purple, and she loved sparkly things, and so that's why I made that. If you guys just want to share purple hearts in chat as well, if
Aw.
you're not a member, that's perfectly fine. Share some purple hearts in honor of Harmony.
gets fussy, will cry,
Yes.
and that'll
Me too,
make
I can do
Seamus
that.
cry.
I don't remember that.
Okay. And Harmony, also, maybe not as rambunctious, but would get pretty fussy about being in the car for a long time, right?
Yes.
And so you would try and find ways to entertain them.
Yes.
And one of the ways that you entertained them was to go to a public place, like maybe the mall, just to get them walking around inside for a while.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You remember losing your phone at the mall while you and Adam were walking around with the kids?
No.
Okay. One of the ways that you would entertain them was to take them to places like Walmart when you were shopping for more food.
I don't remember going there.
Okay. What were the ways that you entertained them?
I don't remember what we.
Damn, what a neglectful mother. I don't know how we entertained them. Okay, they're only your kids, and Harmony was your stepkid. You have no idea how you entertained them. She was only looking for a next fix. Makes me
Right.
so mad. Oh my goodness. Jessica Freitag said, I keep seeing people say the defense is leading. You're allowed to lead on cross. You cannot lead if it is your witness on
No, I
direct.
don't
Thank you
have
so much,
that.
Jessica.
We did with them.
Come back
I
and
just
do
remember
this
living
stuff.
in the car.
It's weird.
Okay. But you didn't have the children in the car 24/7, right?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you play or take them to walk on those balance beams and stuff on that little play center at the back of the parking lot at Colonial?
Oh.
I don't remember.
Okay. Let's talk about the food that you had. You would eat things like tortilla wraps,
Yeah, we had tortilla wraps.
bananas,
Yes.
peanut butter,
Yes.
apples,
I don't remember apples.
baby food.
What? Caroline is sounding extremely perked up now. Apples? Bananas? Peanut butter? This is a horror story, right? She's feeling enthusiastic about that shopping list, but shame. At least we know the kids got some food, but it sounds horrifying. The situation is so terrible. And the kids had to watch them, take all kinds of drugs. And they sound very neglected. I've asked on X, because I don't know if I'm not 100% sure about something, I prefer not to say. I don't know where exactly Kayla's kids are right now. Kayla and Adam's kids, right? She had 3 with him, 2 boys. And then after Harmony died, they had another kid, which is a daughter. And on social media so far, Marie in Denver has answered they are with her family. So I'm asking, well, with her mom or what? Because that's what I had heard, but I'm not 100% sure. I think the kids are with her mom, though. And if she gets out, I think the kids will be right back in her care. I was reading this long document, 101 pages of like the CPS investigation, and it was horrifying to read the whole time when they talk about Adam Montgomery as Harmony's caregiver. And I'm like, no, that word should not be in there. Word should not be in there. Carrie says, oh no, Walmart. She doesn't remember because she didn't care. Thank you for your impeccable defluffed coverage. Thank you so much, Carrie. And yeah, what a red flag when one doesn't remember Walmart. Like this one. Wow.
Yes.
Cereal,
Yes.
formula.
Yes.
And if you had cereal, you had milk.
I don't remember keeping milk in the car like that, but
Okay.
possibly.
So if you had baby cereal, Seamus would just eat it dry.
Yes.
And what was Seamus eating at that time? He was doing a mix of baby food and real food.
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes you'd feed him your food,
Yes.
little bits, right?
Yes.
And you'd have to make sure that he took it and put it in his mouth, right?
Yes.
Instead of dropping it on the car floor.
Yes.
And Declan had formula. Did he also
Baby food.
baby food?
Yes.
How about the cereal?
No.
So you would have to turn around and feed Declan in the back seat, or would you put him on your lap and feed him in the front seat?
I'd turn his car seat around so that he'd be facing that direction so I could feed him.
Okay. And diapers?
Yes.
So when Declan or Seamus would go to the bathroom in the car, they would be
Yes.
going to the bathroom in diapers, right?
Yes.
And Declan his diapers didn't smell too much, right? Because he was still just a baby.
I don't remember.
Okay. But Seamus's diapers would smell, right?
Yes.
And so Seamus and Declan are both going to the bathroom in the car in their diapers.
Yes.
And you would change them where?
In the car.
And all the time?
If we were just living in our car, yes.
And then you would throw the diapers in the dumpster?
Yes.
And certainly in Colonial Village, you had a dumpster nearby.
Yes.
And then you would try to clean them up more than just the wipes when you change their diapers, right?
Yes.
And that would be in public restrooms.
I don't remember going to public restrooms.
Where would you clean them more than just wipes?
I don't remember.
That's terrifying that she doesn't remember that. Surely that's a terrible time to be living out of a car, living in a car with 3 kids that need to be cared for 24/7. Ooh, the neglect is absolutely terrifying. My goodness. Just being, I don't know where we clean them up. I don't know if we went to a playground. Yeah, you really should remember that because it would be quite a challenge to,
The way
keep
she
the happy
said it,
face
I don't
going
know.
in
We
that
clean them up.
situation.
I don't know. We went to a
Keep
playground, so I'm
being the
laughing.
protector for the kids. Oh, man.
But you
Really
remember
wasn't.
that you would.
And she just said yes, and then she said, I don't remember. Girl, oh, you just lied. You're going to do the rest of your goddamn time. This is like, Jesus. Huh? She's right though. No, I love it. I love it. That's why I was laughing. I like that content creator. I like her. She's definitely right though. And I kind of get it though, because I get the addiction part. You know what I mean? But what I don't get, at what point do you say enough is enough? I'm living in my car. My man is beating my kids. I'm sure he was beating her behind too. At what point does she say enough is enough? I'm going to go to a shelter, or I'm going to go put my kids where someone could love them until I could get myself together. Katie said she better get more time and not just get a slap on the wrist and be out free in May. I know after that little lie she just did on the stand, right? They caught her. They caught her. That's why these questions are necessary for them to do.
I remember cleaning them with wipes. I don't remember bringing them to
We're
any
gonna keep catching it
like
up.
restroom or stuff like that. I don't remember that.
Okay. So you talked about going to your mother's on the 29th of November. Is that the last time that they got a thorough cleaning?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't do that to
Most
your
people
kids,
coming
right?
out of addiction feel remorse. Right.
I don't.
I know
I
do.
wouldn't. But if I was stuck in the
For the
situation I was stuck
actions
in,
like
then
neglect,
yeah,
there was shame.
Okay.
Kayla sober more
Um,
than a year from living in jail and gives 0 fucks.
You had your own hygiene
Yup.
to worry about in the car, right?
yes,
I agree.
And I think that you said on direct that you would ask Harmony to come with you,
I
and
definitely
sometimes
agree,
she
Megan.
wouldn't.
right.
Sometimes she would.
Glad you said
Yes.
that too.
And where would you go for your hygiene?
If we ended up going to a gas station that had a bathroom,
Okay. So one of the places that you used to clean yourself and Harmony up was public restroom in a gas station.
yes,
Perhaps convenience store,
yes.
perhaps Walmart.
I don't remember going to Walmart.
Okay. So sometimes she would come out of the car with you and go into the convenience store and you would clean her up, right?
Yes,
And she would not be under a blanket.
no,
Right. And sometimes she didn't go with you.
right.
And if she had not gone to the bathroom for a long time, would you insist?
I would ask her.
Uh-huh. And she would say what?
She would say no, she doesn't have to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Kathy B said, Katie said, amen,
And
Megan.
if she hadn't
Yeah,
gone to the
Megan hit that
bathroom
one
for
on the
all
nose.
day,
Yep.
would you insist that she go to the bathroom with you?
Yes.
Right.
And when you insisted, did she go with you?
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, you talked about sometimes Harmony would go to the bathroom in the car.
Yes.
Was she wearing
Yeah,
underwear
please hit the like button.
during that whole time?
Please
Yes.
hit the like.
Where did you clean her underwear?
We didn't clean her underwear.
Okay.
Okay, and she says that like we didn't clean her. Okay, yeah, that's not good, Kayla. That's not
We didn't
like
clean
the way
her
she's
underwear.
like when she asked this. That's really horrifying. Shame. And we learned when Harmony was with her foster parents, her foster parent was actually on the stand. Michelle Raftery was on the stand on day 2 to testify, and she said that Harmony loved to be clean. She liked that sparkly blue dress that they showed to the jury as well that she was wearing. So if Harmony loved to be clean, and there's many great things that they've said about Harmony. Living in a car with these two.
I know, girl. Tell me about it. We got 6 people watching and 3 likes. Can y'all please hit the like button? Y'all been doing good so far with hitting the like button the last few weeks. So I can't say much. But please, y'all might be new or sitting in the back. I don't know who's watching. But can y'all please hit that like button? I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, how could she she said we did not clean her underwear. So if she didn't clean that little girl's underwear, she didn't clean her underwear, she didn't clean, they just didn't clean their underwear. That tells you, first of all, they was living in the car. So not cleaning their underwear, that already tells you what kind of, you know what I mean? Like, oh God. Ay, ay, ay. My heart goes out to that little girl and the other kids too, man.
And then they're just like, we didn't wash your underwear. Okay. Horrifying. Harmony should have never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, the
ended
state
up
messed up.
in Adam Montgomery's
The state messed
care.
up big time.
Horrifying.
So
Damn.
and I think that you said it was urinating and defecating in the car.
Yes.
And I'll call it pee and poop. Okay.
Yes.
And so you said that she did both.
Yes.
And then, so suppose she peed in the car. What would you do to clean it up?
We would change her clothes.
Okay. What else?
That's it.
Would you clean the car?
Wipe the seat. Yeah.
Okay. And would you clean the underwear?
I think the defense is doing a good job. Yeah. Of showing. It's kind of like the mask has come off. This is more like the real Kayla. Seems like to
I
me,
said
compared
that.
to what we saw when the prosecution asked the questions, right?
I said
And
that.
also how she talks about Harmony.
The real her.
What happened if Harmony had an accident in the car? Change her clothes. Did you clean her? Nope. Right. Wonder Woman says, what a disgusting human being. A lot of people asked this as well. They were asking the whole day on day 2. She is apparently on some sort of medication at the prison, which I don't know if it's methadone or someone said Suboxone or something. She's on something to help her overcome her addiction in prison with a program that they have there. So I think that's why. People say she looks medicated. I think she is medicated. Yes?
Yeah, I said that.
That she was wearing.
No, they'd get put in a bag.
Okay. So you had like maybe 7 or 8 or 9 pair of underwear for her to wear?
I don't remember.
Okay. And you said we would clean her up. That would be you and Adam?
Yes.
And when how many sets of clothes did she have?
I don't remember.
None.
Probably
One,
just a couple, right?
Yeah.
Sustained.
Okay. Do you know if you had more than a couple?
I don't remember.
She says
Okay.
sustain.
But if she urinated in her pants,
Please
you
hit the
would
like
have
button.
to not only change her underpants, but also her leggings, right?
Yes.
And do you know if you had a bunch of leggings as well as a
The
bunch of
like button's not
underpants
being
to
pressed.
replace them?
I don't remember.
Don't waste my
Okay.
time. I don't know why they're watching.
And then when she
Awkward.
pooped,
Jesus.
you would clean her.
Yes.
You would wipe her with the baby wipes.
Yes.
And then
It's like, no.
would you take her to a public restroom to get her more clean?
No.
Overruled.
Pardon?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't remember.
Okay. So, and you would sort of understand that she was going through a difficult time because of so many changes in her life.
Yes.
And so you would understand and tell her, Harmony, I know this is difficult, but you really have to tell us when you go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Before you go to the bathroom, right?
Yes.
Because
you have a beat on her. Wow.
And you try to encourage, come with me, we'll take care of it, we'll be in the bathroom, come with me, right?
Yes.
And did you ever buy pull-ups for her when it became more than a one-time thing?
I don't remember.
Okay. Something you might have thought of, right?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, so you didn't come up with any solutions to care for Harmony. Yep. You know what was so horrible on Friday in her testimony is when she said it was direct examination, prosecutor asking questions, right? When they said, well, when Adam was hitting Harmony, well, driving the car and stopping the red lights and turning around to hit Harmony, which is essentially
So Adam would get
killed her.
upset when he smelled she had an
Did you do anything?
accident.
Yeah, she
How
says she
would
put
he
her
know
hand
that
there,
he was
and then she says
in
the way that
accident?
Adam looked at
You
her.
monkey
Now, one
nasty
would imagine she'd say, he
smell.
looked at me like he was going to kill me. Like, he looked so evil, so scary. She
Megan.
described it as like an evil look, but when they asked her, they pressed her for more information, she said, well, it was just weird. It looked like he was going to like hit me, or it was weird. Man, that's it. Just her statements lost some credibility there, because even if he was going to hit you, you need to protect the child. She
That's
was a
right.
5-year-old little girl. Then intervene, right? You know, I know it's scary and the
man.
situation sounds terrible.
It's a shame.
But to be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to turn a blind eye while he's beating this little girl. Yeah, no, this in no world, well, I guess in our world, it's never okay, right? No. She just did nothing.
And being cooped up in that car for so much time with the kids was a little bit difficult, right?
Yes.
And it was difficult for the kids too, right?
Yes.
So sometimes chaos would just erupt, right?
Yes.
Declan crying, Seamus crying, Harmony crying, right?
No.
Okay.
They never really cried that much.
Okay. But when they cried, it would sort of cascade, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. And it's like what's happening to one would go to the other and the other, and it would just be chaos, right?
Yes.
And how would you sue them?
I don't remember.
Now, you said that Bodero didn't want you staying at the Colonial Village parking lot, right?
Right.
He was actually afraid somebody might notice and he would
Yes.
get in trouble.
Yes.
But you also said that he came down daily or every other day or so to give you drugs.
Yes.
So he didn't want to come down and in public hand drugs over to a car that's squatting in a parking lot where it shouldn't be.
Right.
He came down to meet with Adam.
Yes.
And Adam occasionally would drive him places because Adam had his license.
Right.
And he would drive Madero's car and you would be there with the kids.
I don't remember that.
Okay. But he would have Adam driving him places.
I remember he did that when we were staying at the house. I don't remember him doing that when we lived in the car.
Okay. Well, Badero wasn't. Did you have money while you were in the car?
Not really.
Okay. So you pretty much had to count your pennies when you bought more food and stuff like that.
Yes.
And you couldn't splurge in anything because it was pretty tight, right?
Yes.
But when Adam would meet up with Mr. Badero, he would be able to get some drugs.
Yes.
And Anthony Badero was not giving him drugs for free.
No.
Right? Adam was doing Anthony some favors.
I don't remember that.
Hold on. Approach.
Ooh, sidebar time. See, now we can go forward a little bit.
And Anthony got.
Oh, too much. Here we go. Sorry, I'm like forward.
Exactly.
We're almost there.
Barbara.
Here we go.
Objection is sustained. The question can be rephrased.
They should.
So when Adam and Anthony got together,
at least she should get more jail time. A slap on the wrist. But she took a deal. I would still give her ass more time.
after a while, Adam would be able to come back with some drugs.
Sure.
Not when we were living in the car.
Anthony Badero was not giving out drugs for free, right?
Overruled.
Right?
Sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't.
Okay. And actually, on the day that your car died, and you described going to the clinic and coming out and going to Burger King and then going back to the parking lot.
Wait, I gotta stop.
Adam asked you to go up to Anthony Badero's to get some drugs, right?
What do y'all think she implying with that question? I mean, I might be off about what I'm about to say, but y'all know my mind goes everywhere. Is she implying that this woman had to sleep with him to get some drugs? She was like, he not gonna give no drugs for free. Woo. I mean, you know? So I don't know. Did you have to pull a trick? Did your man have you out there tricking? Because that extra sign money ain't gonna last for that long, boo-boo. Allegedly.
I don't remember.
Okay. And he asked you to do it because Anthony might front you a bag because he never says no, right?
Approach.
More sidebars. Mary T says, did they get food stamps with no address? Maybe they still had the 77 Guilford Street listed for a bit, or her mom's house. I'm not sure. But what's terrible is that Kayla was collecting food stamps on Harmony's name after Harmony had died. That also makes her guilty of something. You know, keeping that secret for Adam. And we could hear on
There
Friday
was a lot of
her saying she was really worried about what would happen.
Hold on.
Adam
Hold on,
and
y'all.
her and
She
the
talking.
kids.
We talking.
Basically,
Hold
if
on. Let me
anyone
press
found out.
pause. Because I want to hear what she got to say too. Now, y'all said, Katie said there was a lot of sidebar this trial day, especially when it came to drug questions, though there has to be something more behind the scene going on. We will see. I didn't see it yet, so it's my first time. But you saying there's a lot of side because you've seen it, so it might be, yeah. Barbara Horse said it's convenient for her to not remember things. Megan said the dealer admitted in testimony that he sold him food stamps for the substance at times. I said that before. Remember, I said you could cash in your food stamps for some cash. I didn't even know they said that part. Okay, see, I know that. I know that life. Yes, he did. Today's trial day was spicy with the drug dealer. Oh. Okay. Yes, Megan. Oh, y'all seen this already. So I'm the only one that didn't see it yet. Okay, I got y'all. Cheaters? No.
She didn't care that people were looking for Harmony. You know, like her mother.
Ooh.
She kept Adam's secret that whole time, which is terrible when you think that she still actually wants to
he
be
coming
with
up
him
in
and make
there?
love to him
Oh,
one more
child.
time. Yeah. Oh man.
Don't
And
forget to
that
hit the like button, y'all, please. Thank you so much. Let me
he
just
asked you
pause
to
that
go
for a minute
to
again. If I gotta keep pausing
Badera's
it,
to
I
get drug.
will. I want to say thank everyone that is joining us. We got 5 people. I don't know who else is watching. We had 7 people. We got 5 people now. I can't say it as much. Thank y'all for joining me, but do not forget to hit that like button, y'all. And please, if you want, share the video as well. Thank you. Oh, not on this one. This is yesterday's trial date. Oh, okay. All right. Well, tomorrow then we got to watch the other one for him to, yeah. So I am
That day because Badera would front you.
Overruled.
I'm a day
Cross-examination. You
behind.
may proceed.
I'm at
Would
2
front
days
you a
behind.
bag because he never says no to you, right?
That's not true.
Which part?
Ooh,
That he never says no to me.
Okay. But on that day, that's why Adam asked you to go up to Badera's
he
to
got
get some
choked out
drugs.
of it.
I don't remember that day.
Okay.
Overruled.
The lady got
I'm going to
choked.
show you
Oh my God.
a copy of the transcript of the interview that you did with the police on the 23rd.
Sebastian, thank you so much. She said, I'm not defending her, but she was mostly like out of her head with substances and with an abuser. The problem is, I mean, I thought that on Friday. I was first like, okay, she could be a victim of coercive control and domestic violence. And I mean, she was later. We saw pictures of her with, her eyes all purple from being hit by Adam Montgomery because he was suspecting she was talking to the police. But the problem is the way her lack of care for Harmony, the way she talks about Harmony, the way that we learned that she collected food stamps on Harmony's name, kept Adam's secret, and even went so far as to help him cut the clothes off Harmony's decomposed body. I mean, that's some bad stuff. But I mean, of course, all of these things that we're saying could be true. All of it. That she was very much into that cycle of substance abuse. She could have also been a victim of DV and coercive control. And she could have also, at the same time, been a really horrible person and maybe even an abuser herself, because neglect is also abuse. And that's one thought. Imagine the others.
Yes, it
It's
makes
so
you
dark. I can't
wonder.
even go there.
But he admitted that he got
But
food
yes,
stamps
all
for
of the above.
things.
Thank you so much,
He
Sebastian,
don't
and thank you
remember
everyone for being
anything.
here. Let's continue on.
Yeah.
And it's marked Defendant's Exhibit 2, D2
Really?
for ID.
I'll be honest, I'm not real fond of the defense attorney.
Could you say that? Could you just repeat the
Exhibit number D2 for ID.
D2? Okay, D2. Thank you.
So may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Why else
Okay.
do that?
Now, we talked about your interview on June 23rd with police. I'll come in a second, right?
Yes.
And that interview was recorded, right?
Yes.
And Detective Jack Dunleavy was there,
Yes.
and Detective Max Rayhill,
Yes.
and a U.S. Marshal was there,
Yes.
and an Assistant Attorney General was there,
Yes.
and your attorney was there,
Yes.
and you were there.
Yes.
And that
A lot of questions with a lot of yes. Forensic Bureau said, like Sunny said, it's not that Kayla didn't love Harmony. She didn't even like her. If you guys didn't see the live stream we had on
Basically.
Saturday with Sunny Slaughter, a law enforcement and litigation expert, go and check that out as well.
was June 23rd. I'm going to show you a copy of this transcript and point out some stuff so you'll know that's what I'm talking about, okay?
Mhm.
See the date
Yes.
and the people that were present.
Yes.
And so I'm going to point you to page, and like with anything that I give you, I'm going to
Meaning, I'm
point to an
sure it was
area that I'm interested in, but you can read
I'm
before
just
and
saying, I
after to
wouldn't
sort
hire
of
her as my lawyer.
orient yourself. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to point you to page to that area there and ask you to take a look.
Hmm.
So now you can see those are reading glasses that she's wearing that everyone's asking about. It's not sunglasses because now
Just
she's reading
reading, yeah.
this giant pile of documents. Calcification says it is possible to be a victim of DV and also a scumbag, right? Reality can be very complicated and messy. Exactly. That's what I mean with all of the above. It
I
can
am only
one can be a victim of
fond
DV
of the
and a
defense
scumbag.
attorney getting
And it's
Kayla
amazing
on
that she
lies, perjury,
would
take her
allow the
deal off
abuse
the
to
table.
happen to
She could
Harmony,
rot in prison
knowing what
like
it felt
Mama
like to be
Adam.
abused. You know what I mean? One would think that you'd want to protect everyone else
No, that's
from the
right.
same thing, especially children and animals. I still wonder what happened to Adam Montgomery's dog because he wanted to sell the dog, and people were called. They called CPS and DCYF to report not only abuse on the children but also the family pet. So we never heard what happened to that dog after they got evicted. I worry about that. Sorry to make it even darker. Okay, we can go forward a bit. Sidebar happening. That's a long sidebar.
It sure is.
Do something.
It's the first commercial, not too bad.
There we go. And that's why we like
Recollection about what you did.
that's why we like to start later. We don't have to wait and wait and wait and wait for these silent, sidebars and breaks. We could just skip ahead, which I do love. I really enjoy that. It's never nice to wait, the 2 hours or 2.5, like, okay, can we get started now? But it's so worth it. Grandma Got Moves, too. Thank you so much. That's such a cool name. Thank you so much, Grandma. Grandma Got Moves. Okay, here we go.
Did that day?
I remember saying that, but I still don't remember that happen. I don't know. I don't remember that day. I don't remember that happening that specific day.
I'm going to unpack that a little bit, okay?
Mhm.
And I pointed you to something that you told the police officers and everybody else that was there on June 23rd, right?
Yes.
And on June 23rd, you were present to let them know, maybe to correct some stuff from June 3rd and talk more about what happened back in December of 2019.
Yes.
And you knew they wanted you to talk about your memory, right?
Yes.
They didn't want you to make something up, right?
Right.
And you had had plenty of time to think about it, right?
Yes.
And to remember what happened, right?
Yes.
And some of the details that they were interested in, they sort of they talked about in June 3rd.
Yes.
And so are you saying that you didn't remember that day when you spoke to them on June 23rd? Or that you did remember it in June 23rd, but you've forgotten now?
I don't remember that specific thing
Uh-huh.
on that day. Like me actually going to see Tone and asking for a bag of drugs. I don't remember that.
But it is something that you told the police that day, right?
Right.
And that you and Adam were in the car and you went up to Tone's to get a bag of drugs. That's me. I knew that tone. But let me actually check because I don't know that I checked it when I walked in.
Caroline, defense attorney, that's me. I know that tone. She knows her ringtone. And she's just like, ooh, that's my phone. Whoops, Caroline, whoops. Put your phone on silent thing. Right? Miss Holmes. So you say it's crazy how so many people have changed their point of view since Friday about Kayla. I mean, she's a victim too, and we don't victim baby her. The thing is, I've changed my mind too. After hearing everything that she said when the defense questioned her, thinking that she still wants to make love to Adam Montgomery after he allegedly murdered his 5-year-old daughter and then dismembered her, she still wants to make love to him. No. Now you're crossing over to not being so much of a victim. No. Even if
And
people
then
say
got
trauma bonding and
then
all that, no. Oh no, the empathy ended for me over there. When I thought of all that, when I thought of her just doing as she's told, like, get a freaking backbone, lady. You
yeah.
can't just.
And not only that, she got pregnant with this monster's child while little Harmony is stuffed in a bag somewhere or in the ceiling somewhere, or God knows where else they travel with that little girl. Come on now. It's crazy.
Just walk Harmony's body in a stroller between your two boys and like wheel it to Portland Pie Company to be put in a fridge. Oh man, it's just like,
No
yeah, no,
sense.
I crossed over to the other side too. I was like, okay, like, give her the benefit of the doubt, but the neglect, the lack of protection for the children. I mean, she's a mother after all. She's a mother of 3 kids. And just remember, those 3 kids will probably go straight back to her when she's out, which could be this year. She's already done over a year. Her minimum time is 18 months. She's got a parole hearing in May. So I feel protective of those kids as well. And I'm like, ooh, my empathy is going in a box. It's not about victim blaming. The victim is Harmony Montgomery. Kayla is not the victim in this case. Harmony is the victim. And it's just like, I'm just hearing things that Kayla did that I just can't continue to give her the benefit of the doubt. No. Shame, man. And keeping that secret for Adam until Adam moved on with someone else. Then she called the police. Then she wanted to talk, and she lied until she eventually, I guess, turned on him, but then still wrote little prison letters saying how much she wants to be with him. No, man, I can't. So, but if people feel like she's still a victim and feel sorry for her, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't anymore. No. Mm-mm.
So it was not me, but if I could make sure mine's off.
Caroline's making sure her phone is off. We're hearing some paper flapping. We'll go forward now in a moment. Yeah, Carrie says, I feel the same. My opinion changed on Friday as well. There's too many. Kayla went too far to just be under this banner of victim. She went too far, man. Cutting off the clothes. A little Star Wars hoodie. That's what Harmony wore last. A little Star Wars hoodie and leggings. Ooh, no, it's very bad.
You're not disagreeing that you did tell the police that, you just don't remember
Put
telling
the
them.
fan on you.
And if you did tell the police that back in June of 2023, you would have been telling them, this is what I remember.
Right.
So you don't remember it today, but you told them that you went up to get
Approach. Oh, asked and answered. Overruled. Go ahead.
drugs from your friend Tone Badero.
I don't remember that specific thing happening that day because I've done it a lot of times.
Okay, but you're not disagreeing that you told him that that's what you did that day.
Right.
Okay. And Tone sometimes will give you drugs for free,
Right.
but that's not what he normally does.
Right.
Okay.
That's not what
Okay,
he
so
normally
Jeep
does.
says, but this is Adam's trial. Did he do it? That's this trial. Innocent or guilty for Adam. Exactly. But the thing is, the defense, all they can go on is Kayla. What was her role in it? I mean, I think, that's their strategy. I think their strategy is going pretty well, actually. Which I know people don't want to hear. They don't want to hear it, that the defense's strategy is going well. But to, poke holes in Kayla's information, which, man, she lied so many times. They already poked holes in her credibility. They tried to impeach her. And now just finding out more. Remember, it's kind of like the arguments people have about Gypsy Rose. That ex-boyfriend should, if he's got LWAP, why doesn't she have? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's those types of arguments. And this is different, though. this would be like, okay, is Kayla going to be charged with more eventually, or could she just get out after 18 months and live happily ever after with her kids? That's concerning, right? But this is Adam's trial. Absolutely. It's just, yeah, I'm not really on the page of too much empathy for Kayla anymore. I'm horrified by the things she said. Even to think that after listening to him, she said she heard it. She heard the sound of Adam beating Harmony. And then thought, cover her with a blanket. Let's go get some Burger King. I'm like, what? No, that's too much.
And throughout the time that you were in the car, Adam would do things to find ways to get money to buy drugs from Mr. Badero.
Yes.
And one of the ways that he did that was to do things for Mr. Badero.
Not while we were living in the car.
Okay.
What?
Now, there were a lot of people that parked at the Colonial Village parking lot, right?
Yes.
And it might not have a whole lot of people during the day, but in the morning before work and in the afternoon after work, it was pretty full.
Yes.
And you did not want to be noticed in the parking lot.
Right.
Because somebody might tell on you and you'd have to leave.
Right.
And you wanted to be there close to Mr. Badero's apartment.
Yes.
Well, he did supply them with substances, so of course, for them, the closer the better, right? Phoebe says, and he covered her with a blanket, and she and Adam both ignored the moans and noises, just sickening. Which I believe the term for that as well is so scary. It's called a death rattle. The types of sounds that they were that Kayla was sort of describing and what might happen in a situation like that. To just cover Harmony with a blanket and go get some Burger King, and probably didn't order for her. Ooh, that's a terrible case, this.
But especially in the morning and in the afternoon when people were moving around more before work and coming home from work, you wanted the kids pretty quiet.
If they were quiet? I don't remember.
Well, you didn't want your children screaming in the car, right?
Right.
You wouldn't want that cascade of chaos where Declan might cry and then everybody starts crying.
That's not a normal thing that would happen.
And you wouldn't want it to happen, right?
Right.
You would want them, especially during that time period, to be pretty quiet so nobody notices.
I don't remember that.
Almost every morning.
Pause. Ronna Jane says they couldn't even hold her while she was dying or try to save her life. They both deserve life in prison. Just covered her with a blanket. And I mean, remember, Kayla's a mother. Where's that mother's instinct? And yes, she was Harmony's stepmother, but her own two boys were sitting right next to Harmony. And then they just covered Harmony with a blanket and had their breakfast. And then after that went to go get drugs. That is just so bad, right?
You went to the clinic in the morning.
Yes.
Maybe you missed one, but certainly not. It was a regular daily thing, right?
Right.
You would get up and you would leave the parking lot, go to the clinic, get your dosage, and then go off somewhere else.
Right.
Might go to Burger King.
Yes.
Might go to a gas station.
Yes.
Might go to some other place and use the facilities and restroom.
Yeah, those kids,
I
they
remember
witnessed
that.
everything.
Okay, if you went to a gas station, you would use the facilities, right?
Right. But never mind.
Okay. There were other places that you went besides a gas station and Burger King, right?
I agree, Barbara.
Okay. And if facilities were available to use, you would take the opportunity to take the kids out and clean them up.
I agree,
Okay.
Megan.
And if Harmony had messed her clothes, would you hand wash the clothes?
Overruled.
No.
I'm reading
Change your
something
clothes.
as we're doing this.
Okay.
So I was
And put it
Sorry,
in a bag.
God.
I mean, yeah, now they're going round and round. Damn. Like, Caroline's definitely asked those questions before.
I'm
We're on
shocked at what I
round
just
3 or 4
read.
of those. As Zencat says, why is the responsibility for the kids 100% Kayla's? Of course not.
Wow.
Harmony was Adam's child. This testimony doesn't make Adam look any better.
Boy.
No. This testimony doesn't make Adam look any better. It's just that this is the star witness for the state, right? This is the person who is the only one who knows the story. And unfortunately, she's lied so much along the way that the defensive strategy would be to show the jury that she's not credible because they're defending their client, Adam Montgomery, who thankfully has been sentenced to decades in prison already. So that's some comfort knowing that whatever the outcome of this trial will be, because it's hard to prove, they've never found Harmony's body, second-degree murder and second-degree assault and tampering with a witness. It's a tough case to prove. The others is already conceded guilty, right? So yes, the responsibility is not 100% Kayla's. I don't think Guy ever implied that. For me, it's like she's a mother, though. You know, her boys were sitting right next to Harmony, who was dying, who was beaten and then was dying. Oh no, that's just like, hey boys, let's go get some Burger King.
Right.
Let's cover your sister here with a blanket, half sister. But you know what?
Oh my God.
But if she peed in her pants, her clothes would still smell like urine.
Right.
And if she did it a lot, you had a limited amount of clothes, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And if she pooped her pants, you'd also have to remove the clothes and change them with something else.
Right.
And you
Ms. Dewey says, isn't there something like 70 witnesses in this trial? There was, and then they provided an amended witness list right before the trial started, and they said there would be, I think the number was 52 to 55. Okay, witnesses for the state and 2 for the defense. And the defense's 2 witnesses will be Michelle Raftery, Harmony Montgomery's foster mom, as well as Michael Harju from the Hillsborough County House of Corrections. So I guess if you add that up, 57 total for the state and the defense. And yeah, she took up the whole of Friday. And of course, she's the star witness for the state. And now maybe she'll be on all day today. Who knows?
didn't have 2 weeks worth of clothes for Harmony.
No.
As a matter of fact, you described what Harmony was wearing, and it was pretty much the same thing the whole time, right?
No.
The leggings that you remembered that she was wearing,
Right.
those were the leggings that she was wearing when she left the house.
No.
Okay.
Suzette says, how old was Kayla when this happened? She's 33 now, so I think she would have been like 28 or so then.
And I was talking about money, that Adam would find ways to get some money. You were not working, right?
Right.
And you were not pulling in any money, right?
Right.
You were watching the kids.
We were staying in our car.
And you were watching the kids, right?
Yeah.
And you were not working.
No.
And you talked on direct when you were being questioned by the state, and you said that you had confessed to your crime of theft at Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yes.
And you said that you had taken responsibility for that crime, right?
Yes.
Well, you actually got caught in that theft, right?
Yes.
And you were given an option of writing a confession and reaching a restitution agreement, or the police would be called.
Yes.
And so accepting responsibility was taking the lesser way out of the problem so that you wouldn't get a theft charge.
Right.
And you reached an agreement to get out of criminal charges.
Right.
Okay. You were held responsible for that charge, for
Yes.
that crime, right?
Yes.
Just in a different way.
Mm. Mm-mm. Damn, I'm trying to find out something, y'all.
By the way, when you used drugs in the car, you wouldn't use them all. You would sort of spread out the usage as much as you could.
Yes.
And So you may not get that as good of a feeling as you would get if you had more money and a better situation, right?
No.
Okay.
She's looking at her like,
Doing the drugs sort of eased life's worries?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, because life's worries still intruded even while you were using the drugs, right?
Yes.
And especially if the kids were fussy and everything, you couldn't just sit back and relax with the drugs. You still had to pay attention to the kids.
Right.
And if they were crying, you still had to soothe the kids.
Yes.
And if they needed changing, or Seamus, Peter pooped in the car, or Harmony, Peter pooped in the car, you couldn't just sit back and relax. You had to do something.
Yes.
Okay.
okay. Whoa, do we got some cases coming up, y'all? Wow. Wow.
We talked about those several statements that you gave to the police and the prosecutor from the Attorney General's office about the death of Harmony.
Yes.
And those stories changed
Looking at her just
over
pisses
time.
me off.
Yes.
And when you first told the story, you said that Harmony was peeing and pooping in the car, and Adam punched her 10 to 15 times in the parking lot of the Colonial.
Yes.
And that it was like at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yes.
And when the officer asked, you mean in the overnight hours? You said, yes, it was in the overnight hours that this happened.
Yes.
Because something did happen at 2 or 3 in the morning on the day that Harmony died.
Yes.
And that was that Adam got in the car and Harmony did not wake up.
No, that's not what happened.
Okay. What happened at 2 or 3 in the morning on that day?
Harmony had an accident and Adam kept punching her in the head.
Okay. At 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was still like it was the middle of the night.
And so in the middle of the night at 2 or 3 in the morning, you're saying that Adam punched her 10 to 15
do you
times.
see her fucking attitude?
And
I
Harmony
gotta
was
stop
crying.
this.
Yes.
I gotta stop this because her attitude is just showing you the real her. Well, it was 2, 3 in the morning and she made an accident and Adam just kept punching her in the head. Like, so what? Like, yeah, she did it and he did what he always do, and her attitude towards this little girl is just, ugh. And I do believe that she had a bigger part than what she's saying.
Screaming.
Yes.
Declan would start
Disgusting.
screaming.
I don't remember what Declan and Seamus were doing.
Well,
Damn. Okay. Just pause for a second. So yes, trigger warning. This case, the whole trial comes with a massive trigger warning. It's horrifying. As you know, I like to cover cases as sensitively as possible. Unfortunately, with Kayla's testimony, damn, we'd have to skip it completely. Like Friday was absolutely horrifying. I actually had to re-listen to some of it because I was like, this is so much. Like you kind of zone out a little bit, because it gets too much sometimes. But we've heard it all now. Okay, Friday was terrible. The things you're saying now, trigger warning. Okay, so just know it's really upsetting, and it's about the death of a 5-year-old girl whose body's never been found. So there is a new tip line that was recently established. I'll put that in the description box for you as well. It's also on my presentations from the trial prep we did, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you know anything, if you spoke to Adam Montgomery or you saw anything or you find anything, I don't know, please call that tip line.
that cascade effect that when one of them is crying and there's chaos in the car, all of them were crying, right?
Not really.
Okay. And then what did you do?
What did I do?
Yeah.
I tried telling him to stop, but he doesn't listen.
Okay. What did you do about the mess?
I didn't do anything about the mess.
Did you clean the car?
No,
Did you clean Harmony?
no,
Was it a pee or a poop?
I don't remember.
Smells are considerably different, right?
Right.
Both
But the
of them-
car already stunk.
It stunk from all the kids living in the car, eating in the car, peeing and pooping in the car, and food being left around the car, right?
Yes.
And body odor.
Yes.
And so if
So even that is interesting.
Oof.
Selective memory there, you know,
She got
because she
welcome memory, yeah.
remembers some things, but like that, when it's now really important, well, on the day that Harmony was actually beaten to death, what was the accident? You know, and then Caroline has to specify peeing or pooping. Which one was it? Then she doesn't know. Did she clean Harmony? No. Did she do anything for Harmony? No. Did you call 911? Nope. Any
No.
paramedics, medical help? Nope.
No.
No, they didn't do that. Sure, that's very bad. Michael, welcome.
Yeah, she remembers what she wants to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Mandolin Winters tried telling him. I roll.
Megan says, middle of the
Harmony
night,
peed
never
in
changed her.
her
Adam smells accident
seat
later,
at
but
2
he
or
never
3 o'clock in the
interjects
morning,
Adam. It may
are you
not be
saying
a
that
new
you left
accident.
her sitting in a
It
puddle
could
of
be one
pee?
of the others in
Yes.
diapers. Just
And if she pooped
her.
at
Mm.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you're saying you
Right,
left
Megan.
her
You're definitely right.
sitting in her own defecation.
Yes.
It could have been the other
Why?
kids.
Because I was scared of Adam.
Lies.
Did he tell you don't?
I just can't buy that anymore.
I
She
can't buy
can't
that
just
shit
pull
either,
that card
girl.
every time because I was scared of Adam. But you want to have sex with him still today. Oh my
Right,
word.
right.
And you had another child with him too. After Harmony died, after watching Adam carry her body around and then dismember it in a bathtub. Oh my goodness. Then you still got on that. You still had more kids with him, and that was a daughter. Weren't you worried about how he's going to treat your own daughter?
Right.
Oh my goodness. She's like, yeah, I was scared of him. Oh, you're so scared of him that you're not going to help clean up a 5-year-old girl's pants? You're just going to leave her there making noises like that while she's dying? Oh, no, 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 no. It's unforgivable. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm struggling with that.
Don't clean her up?
Oh,
No, but when I told him to stop, he gave me the crazy eyes that he has. And I just didn't want to do anything because I was scared of him.
Okay.
no.
And then things calmed down and everybody went to sleep?
No,
Everybody stayed up?
I don't remember if everybody stayed up, but I know I didn't go back to bed.
Okay. So you were up till 2 or 3 in the morning until you woke up, until it was time to go to the clinic.
Yes.
And I think the clinic was 7 or 8 in the morning?
7.
Okay. So you sat in the
7:04 to be exact. If you guys remember from Friday, they went to the methadone clinic. Then they went to Burger King. And it just covered Harmony with a blanket. Whoa, this is just so hectic. Also, earlier, someone had said, Nancy H. said, all of this amnesia is going to violate her agreement with the prosecution. I really do want to know exactly what her plea agreement is. Like, what are the details of that? Because I have not actually been able to find that. So if you know it, if you have it, if you find it, please send it to me. Because, you know, it's only recently that I found out. It's confirmed. Yes, she has a plea agreement. Okay, but I would love to know what exactly can she say and not say, and
I
but yeah, all of
understand.
this
I don't like
selective
her at
memory
all.
and
She needs to
amnesia.
rot in jail for
That
the
might
rest of
violate
her
her
life,
agreement. You
just
never
like
know.
him.
Yeah, and
she
AC said at
will.
any time she could have
Listen,
reported
make
at the
me so
methadone
mad,
clinic. Oh
Barbara.
my gosh, that's a lie.
Oh, just looking
I mean,
at
to be
her,
like,
her
yeah, I was scared.
attitude.
I don't know about that. Nope.
Like,
I
yeah,
don't
he
know about
beat
that.
her.
To do what she did. Yeah, to be like, let's go get
Like
Burger King.
nothing.
Let's go to the methadone clinic, then
Listen.
get Burger King, then get some drugs. Oh my word, Harmony's no longer alive. And then what did she do? Keep his secret for another 2.5 years. That's what
Yeah.
she did.
Wait.
Until he cheated on her.
Unalive that little
She's still
girl.
married to him.
Got Burger
He
King.
moved on
Got
a few times.
high.
We saw one of his exes
Got
on the stand
Tabani.
on
You helped him dispose of
day
that. I bet you
2.
she helped him dispose of that
And
body.
we know he dated someone called
She
Kelsey
was with him
Smalls.
everywhere.
She died of an
Or she
overdose.
know where the Carmony is.
and I'm saying it like that because I've said it before, that that's still a red flag to me, because she started asking questions about, wait, I don't know you had a daughter called Harmony. So who
She
knows
probably hit
what really
Harmony
happened
too.
there.
The car and did nothing until 7 in the morning.
No empathy,
Right.
no nothing at all with this girl.
And you don't remember kids crying and screaming?
No.
Beautiful baby girl.
I believe that you testified
I
to on
agree.
direct that Adam woke up and smelled pee or poop.
Yes.
Do you know which that was?
I'm sorry.
Urination or defecation, do you recall?
No.
Okay. And
I'm going to interrupt a little less because I do want to get on with the testimony. It's just sometimes important things come up and I want to offer the commentary. That's what I'm here for, right? If you don't like a talking head, then you got to go to mainstream media where there's no one actually making commentary and reading your comments and interacting with you guys. I really like that you're here and sharing your thoughts. And even if we differ, please don't
Yes,
fight
I
with each other.
definitely believe she
Differing in
had a
opinion is
bigger
totally healthy
part.
and normal, and you can debate and
What
you
she
can all be on
said,
different
because she
pages or all on
knew
the same
too
page. It
much
doesn't
in
matter.
fact. You're
Stop fighting with
right.
each other, okay?
She was in that back.
Mooney said, remember this is
Exactly.
Adam's trial. We wouldn't be here without her, like it or not. Now, that is true. We wouldn't be here without her because of all the things she said eventually. But the problem is, the only reason she did is because she got a plea deal. If they did not offer her a plea deal, she wouldn't talk. She doesn't care about Harmony, in my opinion. She cares about herself. This is all about self-preservation. This is all about her getting out.
I agree, y'all ladies.
And I worry about that. What is that going to look like when she gets out? You know?
I'm surprised
he
I
got
missed
mad at her
this
for peeing or pooping.
before.
Wait, final thought about that. Just to finish it off, I can bet that she's going to contact Adam again. We're going to probably hear jail calls where she's going to say she loves him and all kinds of stuff. Sorry, baby.
Oh, she'll contact Adam
horrifying.
again.
In the car.
Yes.
Was it a fresh pee or poop?
She's obsessed with
I
him.
don't know.
Okay. So you don't know if she peed or pooped in the car from 2 or 3 in the morning?
No.
Okay. And one of the things I think that you described, Adam saying at one of the things was, why don't you let us know?
I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining. I do appreciate y'all. If you're not subscribed already, take a chance to hit that subscribe button. And also, please hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going to drop another video. And don't forget to hit the like button. It does matter. Please hit that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Like he's surprised at Harmony that she's smelling in the morning. So you're saying he struck her in the morning before the clinic because I think that you said before to the police because she peed herself while still in the parking lot.
Yes.
And that made him mad, you said?
Yes.
And so she peed before you went to the clinic?
It just smelled like urination all the
Okay.
time.
Okay. And she didn't have any injuries that you saw that morning, right?
No.
And you go to the clinic, right?
Yes.
And at the clinic, the two of you have to go in one at a time, right?
Yes.
And the reason that you have to go in one at a time is because somebody had tattled on you at some time earlier for leaving the kids in the car while the two of you went together.
Yes.
And so you were parked in the clinic right out front,
Yes.
and other people are also getting their dosage.
Yes.
And at least at some point, people were paying attention about, well, I'll take that back.
She's like, I'll take that back. Michael Stevens, you're the man. You said I sent you an email of the plea deal. Thank you so much. This I have not found. This, as I say, there's so many documents in this case that this one I completely missed. I really, really appreciate the help. So this is the state of New Hampshire versus Kayla Montgomery. Quick document time. Okay, quick break time, guys. Document time. We need to know. Memorandum of the agreement between the state of New Hampshire and Kayla Montgomery. In consideration, I'm going to read a little bit fast, okay? Okay. Consideration of Kayla Montgomery, Miss Montgomery, cooperation with the investigation and prosecution of various criminal cases and subject to the conditions set forth below, the state of New Hampshire, the state, by and through the office of the Attorney General, enters into the following agreement with Miss Montgomery. The obligations of the state of New Hampshire. Incident to Miss Montgomery's plea of guilty, it's actually Mrs., isn't it? To charge IDs, all those numbers, okay? In case number, the state will recommend that the court impose a sentence of 3.5 to 7 years in the New Hampshire State Prison on each charge. On charge ID that one, okay, the state will recommend 1.5 years of the minimum term be suspended. On the other charge, the state will recommend that all of the minimum term and all of the maximum term be suspended. Both suspended sentences are conditioned as outlined below in A to B, as well as any conditions included in the respective state prison sentence form for each charge. Both suspended sentences would begin on the day of sentencing and hearing and end 10 years from Ms. Montgomery's release on charge ID, that one. Any suspended sentence may be imposed after hearing at the request of the state. If imposed, any sentence imposed is to run consecutive to any sentence imposed on those charges. The above referenced suspended sentences are conditioned as follows. A. Ms. Montgomery's compliance with the obligations outlined in Section 2A, and B. Ms. Montgomery's compliance with the obligations outlined in Section 2B, as they pertain to any and all pending and future charges against Adam Montgomery. So the reason I'm going to read this now is to see, is she sticking to her agreement or what? Because if she doesn't, she could face many other charges, right?
She never.
Thank you so much, Michael.
At the beginning, and then later in the testimony,
so they say,
wonder if somebody told
right on charge ID, we've got this. I just want to get to the actual agreements. Yes, we know about the time. Okay, 2, the obligations of Kayla Montgomery. The obligations of the state of New Hampshire as set forth in Section 1 above are expressly contingent on Ms. Montgomery satisfying the following conditions and obligations. All right. Wait, I just want to see if there's one sentence we missed yet.
Oh, shit.
It was sentencing and a quarter. Okay, that's fine. Okay, these are the obligations. A. Ms. Montgomery will accept full responsibility for her role in making 2 false material statements to the grand jury for Hillsborough County Northern District on or about May 20th of 2022, as more specifically described in the indictments for those charges, right? She's got perjury charges. Thank you, Rebecca. 1. Ms. Montgomery will plead guilty to the above referenced charges, which perjury and perjury. 2. At the sentencing hearing, Ms. Montgomery shall agree that the sentences recommended by the state of New Hampshire and set forth in Section 1 is appropriate and assent to the imposition. B. Ms. Montgomery must comply fully, truthfully, and in a timely manner with all reasonable requests of the state of New Hampshire pursuant to this agreement. This obligation includes the following. 1. Ms. Montgomery must at all times act in good faith and provide truthful, accurate, and complete information, statements, and testimony. Making a material false statement or omission in any context or any state or federal proceeding, including, without limitation, in affidavits, interviews, statements, pre-trial meetings, depositions, hearings, trials, retrials, and any post-trial hearings or any other collateral proceedings will constitute a breach of this agreement. Oh, very interesting. Okay. So then they say, in the event of such a breach or any other breach of this agreement by Ms. Montgomery, the state of New Hampshire, wait, we're over here, will not be bound. I'm like all the way over there. The state of New Hampshire will not be bound by the agreement herein and will be released from all its obligations hereunder and may seek the remedies set forth below. 2. Ms. Montgomery must cooperate in good faith and employ his best efforts, under this agreement. The cooperation required of Ms. Montgomery by this agreement includes all state or federal proceedings, irrespective of the number of trials, if more than one, including but not limited to meeting with prosecutors or the police, preparing for and testifying in any pretrial hearings, depositions, trials, retrials, and any post-trial hearings or other collateral proceedings. Ms. Montgomery must comply with all reasonable requests made by the state within the scope of this agreement. A failure to so cooperate will constitute a breach of this agreement. In the event of such a breach or any other breach of this agreement by Ms. Montgomery, the state of New Hampshire will not be bound by the agreement herein and will be released from all its obligations hereunder and may seek the remedies set forth below. Also, someone's asking how long was Harmony in the custody of Adam and Kayla? Like 10 months. It was actually from February of 2019 until she died on December 7th of 2019. Knowingly, number 3, making or having made a material false statement or omission in any context or in any proceeding, including, without limitation, affidavits, interviews, statements, pretrial meetings, depositions, hearing, trials, retrials, and any post-trial state or federal hearings or any other collateral proceedings will constitute a breach of this agreement. So yeah, that's why earlier Nancy H. said all of this amnesia is going to violate her agreement with the prosecution. There's a lot of I don't remember. She better speak truthfully. If you remember, you better tell. That's why you're here, Kayla. That's why you've got a plea agreement. Right. Anyway, so they say the state of New Hampshire will not be bound by its obligations. Breach of agreement. Ms. Montgomery's failure to execute or comply with any of the above obligations shall constitute a breach of this agreement. In the event of such a breach, as determined by a court of competent jurisdiction, the state of New Hampshire may seek the following remedies. A, the state may seek the imposition of any suspended sentence ordered as a result of the guilty plea referenced above. B, the state may make full use without limitation for any purpose in any forum or proceeding of any and all sworn and unsworn statements or other information or evidence provided by Ms. Montgomery, including the use against Ms. Montgomery of statements she made in so-called proffer interviews on June 3rd and 23rd, 2022. This remedy would specifically invalidate any and all restrictions on the use of said statements as described in letters dated June 3rd and June 23rd of 2022. C, we're almost done. Ms. Montgomery may be prosecuted in any court of competent jurisdiction to the full extent of the law. Such prosecution includes instituting any and all charges, including any previously dismissed or, now we can speak the Italian, null prosequi charges against Ms. Montgomery that are supported by the evidence. If you didn't know, I'm not a lawyer, okay? Just left documents. D, Ms. Montgomery may be prosecuted in any court of competent jurisdiction to the full extent of the law for perjury or obstruction of justice. You see that? That's what people are saying.
Yeah, right.
Or any other appropriate offense in the event that she knowingly makes a material false statement or omission during any events or proceedings, including during proffers, interview statements. We all referred already. All the things, all the time. She can't do that. E, waiver of double jeopardy for protection. Ms. Montgomery agrees that any prosecution and sentencing subsequent to a breach of this plea agreement is not barred by the double jeopardy clause. Interesting, of the United States or New Hampshire Constitution or any other constitutional provision or law or rule, and that such double jeopardy rights as she might otherwise have enjoyed under these provisions are hereby waived, except that Ms. Montgomery may raise any other defense or claim that she could have raised prior to this entry of this agreement. And then waiver of a speedy trial protection. She agrees that any prosecution sentencing subsequent to a breach of this agreement is not barred by speedy trial protections under due process. And also waiver of the statute of limitations. She agrees that any prosecution and sentencing subsequent to a breach of this plea agreement is not barred by the statute of limitations, and that such limitation as she might otherwise have enjoyed under these provisions is waived. Very interesting. Also, in the event that the Hillsborough County Superior Court, Northern District, does not impose the sentence recommended by the state pursuant to this agreement, both the state and Ms. Montgomery retain the right to withdraw the plea agreement and proceed to trial on the original charges or whatever additional charges the state chooses to bring. Ooh, there's a lot on the line for her. Better be telling the truth. Okay, so let's continue.
So you're right out front of the clinic. I think you, looking at that paperwork, saw that you went in first,
Yes.
and then Adam went in.
Yes.
And did you take that time to clean the car?
No,
Why?
because I didn't.
Okay. I think you testified that when Adam got in the car, you said, "I'm hungry, and I'm sure the kids are hungry."
Yes.
And it was you that wanted to go to Burger King for food.
Yes.
And did you want to go to Burger King because you were hungry?
Yes.
Did you want to go to Burger King because you wanted to clean the car?
No,
Why not?
I didn't.
Okay. Just you were hungry and you thought maybe the kids were hungry too.
Yes.
Okay. And Adam drove to Burger King to get you food and food for the kids.
Yes.
And Adam was not interested in food, right?
That's not true.
Why not?
Because he was hungry too.
Okay. Do you remember telling the prosecutor that Adam, I'm sorry.
I wonder why Caroline's like, but he didn't eat, right? He wasn't hungry. She's like, no, he was hungry too. But even that, like, she wanted to go to Burger King because she was hungry. She just answered it. So the defense is kind of making sure that people see how very self-serving Kayla really is.
Right.
She's really there for herself in every scenario. Did you go there to help, clean Harmony, maybe use the bathroom? Nope, just to get some food. Suzette Janssen, thank you so much. I just saw this now. My goodness. That's hometown, you guys. ZAR is South African rands. I really, really appreciate it. And you say Kayla's darkness and degradation of conscience really got to me. But Sunny's reaction was so comforting, sharing grief. Thank you so much. And yes, if you guys didn't see the interview that I had with Sunny, she was on our show on Saturday. I was asking her, picking her brain all about this case. And she got very emotional. That was a mama bear. That's an example
Just seen a little bit
how
of it.
a
That
mother's
was Mama
instinct would
Bear.
kick in, right? So if you didn't see that, go check that out from Saturday. It's on the playlist as well. Lucky Ducky, welcome.
On March 16 of 2023, do you recall telling the prosecutor that Adam was not interested in food?
No.
All right, I'm going to take a different exhibit.
Okay, we got some paper flapping. Let's go and speed that up for us a little bit. 1.5 speed. Let's go until they talk. Oh my word.
Okay.
Sidebar. Long silent sidebar. Kayla's reading the notes.
Right.
He wasn't.
There we go.
Yeah.
And so you, during that interview, told the police that Adam didn't care if he ate or not, right?
Right.
He wasn't there because he wanted to eat, right?
Right.
And if the prosecutor said in opening that he went to Burger King because he wanted to eat, and he did eat while driving away, that's not your recollection, right?
No.
Okay. And that's not something you ever told the police, right?
Right.
It's just plain wrong. No, withdraw. And one of your claims is that on the way to Burger King, and I think that you said that he gets in the car at the clinic and smells urine and says, Harmony, why do you keep doing that? Why don't you tell us when you have to go?
Yes.
And he got angry outside the clinic
Yes.
and he struck her in the head
Yes.
in front of the clinic,
In the car. Yes.
in the car, right?
Yes.
Where people are going in and out of the clinic.
Yes.
And where at one point somebody had noticed that you left your kids alone in the car and told on you, right?
Yes.
Okay. You said that he was also yelling at her.
Yes.
On one day,
And
Adam was not.
you told the jury that she was making weird noises on the way to Burger King.
Yes.
Helpful.
Okay. And you said that there were 3 different events
I don't
on the
know.
way to Burger King, 3 different times that he was maybe at a stoplight or something and would strike her again
Yes.
and yelling at her
Yes.
and striking her 3 to 4 times each event.
Yes.
And Harmony's crying
Yes.
and Declan's crying
Yes.
and Seamus is crying.
No.
Why not?
Not just because somebody's crying doesn't mean the other one cries.
Even that earlier, she said the 2 boys were not crying. They don't cry a lot. They don't cry that often, implying that Harmony does, which makes sense if she's suffering all that abuse, right? But now she's saying Harmony cried, Declan cried, Seamus, no. Not him. I mean, that's just what? Like, she's changing her story just a little bit, right? And that matters. We got to pay attention, everyone. Pat's Cat said, "You are the best. This is so hard to watch. It's very difficult, and I'm so glad that you guys are here with me, that we could all watch this together and talk about it together. Like, just look at this case, and hopefully there will be justice for Harmony. I hope that one day they can find her remains, although it's going to be probably in many places, which is very sad. But that is what it sounds like happened,
exactly.
right? From everything we heard on Friday and from the probable cause affidavit that we read through together as part of the trial prep.
But she
right?
conveniently doesn't remember
clinic.
certain things. I mean, in one statement,
yes.
Hardy
And Lucky Ducky
she could
said,
remember
sorry, I missed that.
that she was at a place at
You said, I understand DV and substance abuse, but her
Then
cutting
she
the
doesn't
clothes
remember.
off,
I know,
feel she's just as
Barbara,
guilty.
it's
That was
crazy.
horrifying to hear. And the way she talks about the NutriBullet, oh my goodness. She's like, yeah, Adam wanted to use a NutriBullet, to get rid of Harmony. What?
Right.
Oh, no. Okay, we keep going.
Adam yelling in the car did
Yeah.
not cause Seamus to cry.
No.
And Adam striking Seamus's sister right next to him didn't cause Seamus to cry.
No, he didn't.
And
know what was
Harmony
going
crying
on.
in pain didn't cause Seamus to cry.
No.
Okay. You said the final time that Adam hit Harmony in the head, he said he felt something.
Yes.
That, and I think you claim that Adam said, I think I heard it this time. I did something.
Yes.
And was that in a scared voice?
Yes.
Okay, so Adam thought perhaps he went overboard?
Yes.
And this was
Adam with a scared voice. I don't know about that. Career criminal. This type of guy. Yeah, I don't know. But he said apparently to Kayla, I think I really hurt her this time. How terrible. This time. There were many times, but he's like, I think I really hurt her this time.
This time, right.
Pulling into the parking lot at Burger King.
Yes.
And so, being scared, he drives up to the drive-in window.
Yes.
He orders the food that you want.
Yes.
He pays cash.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I wish ooh.
When you spoke to police back in June of 2022, you recalled that he paid in cash.
Yeah, still right.
Basis? Okay. Approach time, sidebar time. So B. Burt said she remembers all these small details, like Adam didn't want to eat, but can't remember all the other stuff. I know, right?
Right, that's crazy.
That's a big problem. Joanne says, if Kayla was so afraid of Adam and his violent reactions, why the hell didn't she clean Harmony up? This doesn't make sense to me. Right? And only when he moved on with another lady, that's when she called the police. That's when she went to hide at her mother's house. That's when her mother got a protective order, which they never followed up on, so then it just fell away. That. Okay. Sandy says, is the prosecutor even in the courthouse today? Yes, he just objected. Okay, so let's fast forward to the sidebar here.
Same reminders, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, I think this is the coffee break, which we're going to teleport right through. Because that's what we do. It's the best thing
This
ever.
is a good time for a break. I'm going to ask the witness to stay there. We'll take 15 minutes, and then we will resume the testimony. All rise for the jurors, please. Same reminder.
15-minute break. We're going to teleport right through. I'm just going to wait for the jury to leave the room and see if they actually discuss things outside of the presence of the jury. Here we can see on the stand Kayla Montgomery, Judge Amy Messer, Prosecutor Ben Agati. Kelly D says, best decision I've made in the last 2 months was becoming a Grizzly. Thank you so much. My question is that a picture of Fritz? Is that the Cincinnati Hippo? I love Fritz if it is.
Reminders, ladies and gentlemen, don't talk about the testimony, please.
Lucky Ducky, I do believe she does. I'm not 100% certain of it, but that's what I see out there being said, that she's going to get her children back when she gets out. Scary thought.
Oh boy. Thank y'all for joining, everybody. Thank you for being here with me. Please hit that like button. Make sure your notification bell is on so you will know when I'm going to drop another video. What are y'all thinking right now? This is insane. This is so sad because I'm thinking about the little girl. I'm thinking about Harmony and I'm thinking about their other kids. Like, they had to witness this mess. You know what I mean? Like, they had to witness this.
You may step down.
They had to witness these animals.
Okay. Okay. Now we go forward. And we're back. Wasn't that nice? It always feels so nice. It's just like, we just skipped right through that break, right? Okay. Gerda says, question, if the car smells so bad, how would he smell Harmony having another accident? I don't know. Yeah, that's true as well, because she's like, no, I just smelled like it all the time.
It
Okay.
is very
And
sad.
why do we act like that on that day, huh? Exactly. Okay, so now they're back after the break.
Who is not hitting the like button in here? I mean, I asked it 5-6 times now. I hit the like button,
Kayla's
and 2
33
of
years
y'all
old
hit
now.
the like button. There's a few that's not hitting the like button. It's not that hard. Hit the like button.
Okay, lots of silence.
We are always going to be connected.
And you'll always be my best friend.
I know we got people in the back
Everyone's
that
ready, we're bringing
watches
the
us
jurors.
that
Please rise
we're
for the
not going
jurors,
to hit the
please.
like button. We already know who they
Okay,
are.
we're back on the stand.
But I expect the other people to please hit the like button.
Jurors coming in. Objection Cake says, anyone else notice the larger networks copying the way G does things? Wouldn't be surprised to see them also doing the defluff delayed coverage. Oh man, I don't think they can though. They've got the court feed, and it is their court feed. So yes, man, those breaks sometimes can be so long. And as we know, if you watch the Burgos Aviles trial with us, you know what it feels like to wait around for so long. 80% of that trial was like waiting around. It was very, very bad. And we were all there together. We watched it. We stayed till the very end, okay? But man, the tardiness was too much. And now, yeah, this is a much better way to do things.
All right.
Kayla's looking at the jury. Mm-hmm. So that was the morning
Please
break.
be seated.
Which means they'll obviously still have a lunch break, which we'll skip right over that hour, and then they'll have an afternoon coffee break too, which we'll skip right over.
Right before we took the break, I asked you if you told the interviewers, police or whoever, in June that you thought you paid cash.
Yes.
And you didn't remember, right?
No.
If I showed you a copy of your transcript, I'm going to ask you again to read what you need to, but this will be what I'm asking you about. So you told the police in June 23rd of 2022 that you thought you paid cash.
Yes.
And that would make sense because Adam was doing little things to try and collect cash, right?
Yes.
And you certainly had no money in the bank on your card, right?
No. Right.
So after this panic that you say that Adam feels, goes up to the drive-through, right?
Yes.
And the jury was at the Burger King, and you sort of make a roundabout way into the drive-through, right?
Yes.
and it's wide open there, right?
Yes.
And people are coming in and out of Burger King, right?
Yes.
And you stop at one place to make the order,
Yes.
and you ordered.
Ooh, are they going to tell us what? Debbie says, I'm curious what they ordered at Burger King. One burger and split it with everyone. Let's hear what they say. Let's hear. I know people are going to ask me because if ever I'm sipping something, you don't know what I'm sipping. It's a green screen, so now it's see-through, transparent juice, but it's a antioxidant green juice that I'm drinking. Okay.
Croissants and hash browns,
Yes.
and this was for you and the kids.
Yes.
And then you pull around, turn, and go to where you actually have communication with a live person.
Yes.
And the first thing that you do before you get your food or anything like that is turn over, but Adam is doing it because he's in the driver's seat, right?
Right.
Turning over the cash.
Yes.
Might have been card, but probably not, right?
Right.
You know, do you have a specific recollection now of whether it was cash?
No.
Okay. So assuming cash, but card would be the same, you turn it over to the clerk, right?
Yes.
And then the clerk does what the clerk does with money,
Yes.
and then opens the window again and maybe counts out the change.
Yes.
And Adam would be there with his hand out and change being counted out into his hand, right?
Yes.
And then maybe that change is handed to you so that he can then reach in again for the food.
Yes.
And when the food comes in, he probably takes a bag and gives it to you.
Yes.
And you said that just before that, the Adam was scared because he had been striking Harmony and something different happened.
Yes.
And while he's striking Harmony, the children are screaming.
Yes.
Going in through the.
She said, yes.
No,
What's this,
Barbara.
Kayla?
I
Yes.
said the same thing.
No wonder Caroline's going around and around with the same questions because Kayla seems to give a slightly different answer every single time, which is poking holes in her credibility, which is pretty much shot to hell. You know, initially, no, the kids weren't crying. They weren't screaming, they weren't crying. Then, okay, Declan was, Seamus, no. Now, the kids are screaming and crying too? Wow.
The Burger King parking lot.
Yes.
Going through the Burger King order spot.
Yes.
And going through the Burger King drive-thru.
Yes.
And you did not do anything, as you said, with Harmony.
Right. Right.
She was just laying there in the back.
Yes.
And right there as he drives up to the clerk at the Burger King parking lot.
Yes.
Okay. And you said Harmony is moaning in the back seat?
Yes.
And I don't think you said it, but was it a moan that you understood to be a dying child?
No.
Okay. What was the moan?
I don't know. She was making a noise.
Okay. And you didn't check on her, right?
No.
Didn't throw a cover on her?
No.
Didn't have to turn around and soothe the boys in the back seat to make them quiet?
No. They weren't always crying just because one other kid was crying. They weren't always crying.
But violence, chaos, yelling, and screaming would make them cry.
They never really cried that much.
Okay. Did you ask to run in and maybe get some extra napkins to clean up the urine on the seat?
No.
With that smell lingering so bad, did you
Yes.
think maybe to ask if Harmony could go in and clean up?
No.
Did you do anything to deal with the smell of urine?
No, because Adam said she could just lay in it.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. And he was upset with the.
Oh, so you've got to take deep breaks. Damn. Like her, like, oh, Adam said she can just lay in it. Okay, but you also did then. By not saying anything, by not doing anything, eating your Burger King, and then going to get drugs and whatever, she can just lie in it, right? It makes me so mad. You know what makes me really mad? Is that there's a judge out there. What was his name again? Mark Newman or something, who got a He retired and got a big pension package and all that. Him giving full custody to Adam Montgomery. Wow. That should have never happened either. Just mad at everyone. Everyone around Harmony. No one protected her.
No one.
Sure. And Kayla, the way she
No
just
one.
it's just like there's no care in the world for her. I don't care
Right.
if she's medicated or not. She has no care whatsoever, even now.
The smell?
Well, she should have put on a show then for the state, didn't she?
She sure
That was
did.
different. Very, very different.
Very different.
She can cry on cue, but without the actual tears, right? Now we see a bigger picture. On the day, it's like, oh, damn, this looks like really difficult to talk about. I don't know. That feels like it was showtime.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I think actually you say that the kids may not have been crying. I think that, did you tell the police that you thought the kids were sleeping?
Yeah, they didn't really make any noise.
Okay. Kayla, that assault never happened, did it?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Well, you describe physically trying to stop him. Adam?
Yes.
You describe verbally trying to stop him.
Yes.
Nobody wants a person to strike and hurt a child,
Right.
especially a 5-year-old child under your care.
Right.
She's like, right. Yeah, no one should want a 5-year-old or any child or anyone to get hurt. She's like, right. You know, she didn't seem to mind. Wow. Okay, and also her story about exactly when these physical assaults happen is changing too, because it's in the middle of the night at 2 or 3 in the morning. Then it's on the way to Burger King, which means it would have been after 7 a.m., like around 7:30 a.m. So now is it at 2 or 3 in the morning or on the way to Burger King at all these different stops or what? When is it? Like, keep your story straight, woman. When is
That's
it?
why they
'Cause you're
answer her
saying many things, or is
constantly
it just
over and
all of
over.
the above?
They catching her
And
nerve.
you cannot allow that to happen. You can't sit by and allow that to happen, right?
Right.
Okay.
But you did.
But you said that you stopped trying to do anything because he looked at you with the face of pure evil.
Yes.
So you just got scared and shut up, right?
Yes.
Or did you get turned on? Sorry to say it like that, because she's like, looked at the face of pure evil. I was so scared of him.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, in prison, it's like, dear diary, I just want to be with him one more time.
Right.
Like, how do you really feel, Kayla, when you saw that face of pure evil, huh?
Did you get turned on? Right.
Because
the
his
same
face was
muscle.
pure evil.
You're right about that.
Right?
Yes.
He's right.
And pure evil, a person with pure evil is not someone you want to protect.
No.
Her brother.
And a person who is pure evil is not
always
someone that
protected
you
her
love.
brother, but nobody
Oh, that's hard
protected
to
her.
say.
Just awful.
Okay.
Wow.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So someone with a face of pure evil, it's not someone you want to protect, right? She's like, right. Meanwhile, she did. She did everything in her power to protect Adam. She said on the stand on Friday, yeah, she wishes that he was never arrested for this, that he was never caught for this. That is so terrible. Don't
That's
forget those things, okay?
crazy.
I'm not just being hard on Kayla here. Things took a turn on Friday because we saw the mask slipped off.
Right.
It's
There
still
you
off
go.
right now. And to be like, so you don't want to protect someone who has the face of evil, right? Yeah, right. Okay. But you don't love someone. She's like, well, that's hard to say. Yeah, you're obsessed with Adam Montgomery. You do
That's what I
anything
said,
for him,
she's
even now.
obsessed.
And this is part of their deal,
That's
remember?
right.
Not only this is part of Kayla's plea deal, her plea agreement, right? But she even said on the stand that if everything goes down, her and Adam have an agreement that she's going to do what it takes to get out of prison so that she can be a mother to their children.
Right.
So she's still kind of doing things for Adam, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
That's terrifying
Yes.
and disgusting.
Person of pure evil is not someone you want raising your children.
Right.
Okay. And you would do anything to get your kids away from pure evil.
Yes.
And even though Harmony was your child, you felt the same about her.
Yes.
Wow.
She was pretty much your child.
Yes, I helped take care of her.
Okay. And when you and Adam split up years later, or March of 2021, you wanted him back.
We were both trying to fix our family and get back.
You wanted him back with the family and raising the children.
Right.
And when you were sitting in your cell thinking about this and reliving it, and you wrote that note about your thoughts about what you wanted, you indicated that the children needed Adam as well as you, right?
Right.
And that's not the face of pure evil. Right?
No.
Okay. So you said to the jury Friday, I believe, that you fed the children at the Burger King parking lot?
Yes.
Okay.
We were leaving the parking lot.
As you were leaving the parking lot, you were feeding them?
Yeah, I handed them food.
Okay. Who'd you hand food?
I handed Seamus some food.
Uh-huh.
I handed Declan some food.
Uh-huh.
And I reached behind my seat and was giving Harmony the food, but I just put it down, thinking that she was going to be grabbing it.
Okay. So, do you remember telling?
How would she be grabbing it if you can hear her moaning, making noises like she's really not doing well after being hit so many times? And you also just covered her with a blanket. So just put the food down. Yeah, right. I don't think I even believe that. Do you?
The police that you fed the children at the Colonial parking lot?
No,
Okay. Did you feed the children at the Colonial parking lot?
I don't know.
Okay. Now, your car died at the intersection late morning-ish. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And you were at the clinic at 7-ish?
Yes.
Okay, so you were in the Colonial parking lot for a while, right?
Yes.
All right. And you don't recall talking to the police about feeding your children in the back seat at the Colonial?
No.
All right. First of all, before I ask some more questions, set up the situation. Declan is in the car seat by the behind the driver.
No.
You've got Seamus there now,
Yes.
and so you're having Declan in the middle seat,
Yes.
and Harmony is on the passenger side behind you,
Yes.
and Declan is under a year,
Yes.
and you got croissants. What were you feeding Declan?
Pieces of food.
Okay. So you would break off a little piece of hash brown?
Yeah, something. I don't remember what I was feeding him.
And would you hand it to him and make sure he grabbed it?
No.
You just sort of put it back there?
I put it in his mouth.
So you would turn around from the driver's side and put little pieces of food in Declan's mouth?
No.
What?
I reached my arm back and put it in his mouth because he's in the middle.
Okay. And Seamus, okay, so would you turn to reach your arm back and look and make sure you're getting it in his mouth?
I could feel it.
So you reach back with your arm and you feel around for his mouth and put it in?
Yes.
Okay. And then Seamus, you also have to give him small pieces of food, right?
Right.
And with Seamus, you break off a small thing and you give him and make sure he takes it in his hand, right?
Right.
And so you turn around and reach over to Seamus and hand him his piece of food.
I didn't turn around
Okay. Why not?
because I could see him.
Okay.
I just handed it to him like that. He was sitting in the car seat.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Do you remember describing to the police? Oh, and also you said that you took some and you handed it back to Harmony?
I gave a sandwich to her. Yes.
You gave a croissant to her?
Yes.
So you bought the croissant for Harmony or for you?
There was 3 of them.
Okay.
There was one for her, and then there was one for Adam and one for me. And the one that I had, I broke apart and gave to the kids.
Okay. And so what'd you do? Put the whole sandwich back there for Harmony?
Yes.
Did you check and see if she was eating it?
No,
Why not?
because I didn't.
Okay. Okay. And Harmony's position while you're doing that, I think she's leaning against her brother beside her.
Yes.
And then sometimes she's leaning up against the door, I think.
Yes.
And
Oh man, I don't believe that. They bought 3 croissants, and one for Kayla, one for Adam, even though she's changed that story a bit. You know, wanted to eat, didn't want to eat. Okay. One for each adult, one for Harmony. Yeah, right. And then Kayla was sharing hers with her boys. I don't think Harmony was going to get any of that.
you don't check on her.
No.
Don't check and see if she's eating.
No.
But you make sure that you've put the food in Declan's mouth.
Yeah, because they're younger.
Handed food to the child, but
So you weren't
Harmony
concerned
was-
about Harmony at that point.
No,
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You feed them directly because they were younger. You don't feed Harmony directly because, or make sure that she's eating. Why?
Yeah.
Because she can open the package and eat it.
Did you hear her open the package?
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, one of those I don't remember times again. In reading that, it's like a 101 page CPS investigation document. Okay, I was just reading that for some background info. Did you know that Adam at the time, I mean, he had apparently fought for Harmony for a long time. It wasn't just like a fleeting moment of like, okay, fine, I'll take her. He had wanted custody of her, which is so weird to me
But
that
it's
he would
weird. That's
fight
what I don't understand.
for her to then treat her like that.
Right.
They said in some of the supervised visits that he had with her leading up to that, that he did not have age appropriate expectations. So what Kayla just said reminded me of that, because she's like, no, she could just take it herself and just eat it herself, whatever. But she was 5. And I'm sure she could, but like 5 and you've just witnessed her being beaten. Don't you think she needs some help? Sure, these two. Did they not remember what it's like to be kids themselves at all? You know? So that, and also Adam at the time was apparently clean and later relapsed because he had to prove that in order to get her. He did quite a few things in order to get full custody of Harmony, but it should really have never been allowed. Within 10 months, she died. She was murdered in his care. Sure.
Okay.
It's a shame.
And so after that, you went up to Bodero's to get some drugs.
We went to Colonial Village.
Sustained.
Okay. So when you went to Bodero's to get some drugs,
Overruled. Council approach.
Sidebar time, okay?
Sidebar time.
Wait. Okay.
so after you ate, you got some drugs.
I don't remember doing that.
Council
You remember
approach,
having-
council approach?
Exactly, Denny Dawn. I know you were there at trial prep. You said he did that because he wanted to make Crystal, that's Harmony's biological mother, if you guys don't know, pay. He even told her, if I get Harmony, you will never see her again.
He sure
And then he said,
did.
so therefore he made true on his threat to Crystal. Yeah, he did say that. And that's really eerie now in hindsight, right? Okay, sidebar again.
But you do recall actually feeding all 3 children in the back seat, right?
Yes.
And you recall that you were feeding them, and do you recall that you said that you were feeding them with one hand because your other hand was in the bag for your food?
No.
Okay.
That little girl went through hell, man.
So let's talk about why you left the Colonial.
I don't
At
think
that
I could do
point
this
where
whole
eventually
video
the car
today,
broke
though.
down. Okay.
I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow and finish it.
Did you have concerns about Harmony in the car at the time that you left?
No.
Did you look at Harmony at all in the car before you left?
No.
And you said that Adam, struck
She did,
her,
right?
God knows how many times,
Yes.
and that she had been crying, and that Adam actually got scared that he had hurt her.
Yes.
And you never checked.
No.
And you described on direct when you were talking to the state that whenever you all were out in public, Harmony would be covered up so no one would see.
Right.
That wasn't quite true, right?
Not in the beginning.
Okay. And not at Burger King.
Yes, she was under the blanket in Burger King.
Okay. Do you recall saying that she had a blanket on her lap
No.
when you were feeding her?
I just knew the blanket was there.
And that you put little pieces of food on her blanket that was on her lap to feed her?
No. I don't remember putting pieces of food on her lap.
So to toss back a sandwich?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And you had no concerns?
She's like, I don't remember putting pieces of food on her lap, thinking that sounds bad somehow. But she's like, yeah, just toss the sandwich back. No, Kayla, that's what's bad. That's
Right.
what's bad.
I just tossed the
Harmony.
sandwich.
No.
You said that she was moaning before she was at Burger King?
Yeah.
And you said that she was moaning after Burger King.
Yes.
So how could she
And
eat?
that moaning had you concerned?
Yes.
So she
But
was
you didn't
moaning.
check.
How was she eating?
And I think you just said because you weren't concerned.
No, I am concerned. I was concerned.
Okay. And you didn't check on her.
No.
And Adam, you described as being scared that he would hurt her, had hurt her.
Yes.
And
This
where
bitch.
did you go from?
Oops,
Where were you
excuse me,
going from the
witch.
village?
This
I don't remember where
witch.
we were going. I don't remember if we were going to figure out how to get money to get more drugs. I don't remember what we were doing. I don't
Okay.
remember why we left.
Okay. So that
I'm
if
telling you, her
this were
first,
true, then
the first
That means
time
that
when
if
I
she's
crying
clean now,
and
why is she not
stuff,
bawling her eyes out recounting these events, right? Well, that's only for
the good
showtime.
part
That was
crying
for the
for
first
us.
time she was on the stand there. My goodness. But we didn't see actual tears, right? Wow. And someone said earlier, not
No, we did
like,
see
because some
actual
people say,
tears the
just
first
remember
time. That's why I was
these are
checking
addicts
for.
and all
But
of
she
that,
actually had
as if it
tears
gives
coming
her
out.
some kind of a sympathy card.
But you
It
could still
doesn't.
fake
People
it.
struggle with addiction. Not all of those turn out to be monsters like this. These are monsters who were addicts. There's a big difference. You know what I mean? People struggle with substance abuse, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But do they do this? Do they just toss back a sandwich? Do they leave a 5-year-old girl just lying,
She needs to go right jail.
you know, in her
Frustrated
dirty
to
clothes?
watch and sad. I know.
Do
I'm
they
getting real
say, yeah, I was
frustrated.
concerned, but do absolutely
Because
nothing?
this wasn't like this the
Just go get a
first
sandwich.
time.
Just go eat.
It was a
Get some
little,
more drugs.
she
Obviously,
had us
their
caught
focus
in a
was
hook.
drugs. That's it. That's all they
Just
wanted.
like,
The next fix, the next fix. That's all
now
they thought
it's a
about and
whole
cared about.
different her. And I
But
said
even
it.
in that,
There's
if you look a
something
little
about
deeper,
her.
there's a
She didn't
tiny
show us her
sliver
true
of care
colors.
for her
I
own
said
children.
that. And
None
here
for
it
Harmony.
is.
You can hear it. Because like, no, I, fed them, broke up the food. Obviously, they had nappies. They were younger. Her kids were 11 months old and 2.5 years old. But you can hear with Harmony. Didn't care. Didn't care at all. So
Right.
where is the actual concern?
Nothing.
You were concerned. It sure doesn't look like it at all. There's no emotion here. Wow.
Adam would be driving around with a critically injured child in the back seat in public.
Poor baby, man.
And it would have been a pretty important place to have to go for him to take that sort of risk of driving around with a critically injured child in the back seat.
He didn't care.
Okay. And you did or did not?
I felt like I had no say.
So yeah, both of them, the correct terminology would be they were drug dependent, completely drug dependent. And just waiting. Next fix, next. That's what they're focusing on. But man, sure, the way they treated Harmony. Now, we don't know exactly how they treated the boys, but you can already hear the difference just from the tiny little details in between, right? Thank you so much, Tammy.
Anytime I said something, I'd get yelled at.
Okay. And then you say that at the intersection. By the way, what drugs did you do that day?
I remember doing heroin or fentanyl.
Okay. Not crack.
I don't remember if we did that or not.
Okay. So when you said on direct that it was heroin and crack, that's not what you recall.
I don't remember doing both or not.
But you do recall heroin and fentanyl.
Yes.
Okay. And so we discussed timing with the Colonial at 7 and then the breakdown late morning, right?
Yes.
So you were at the Colonial for a few hours.
So this is still, for anyone just joining now, this is still the defense's, the cross-examination, the defense attorney's Caroline Smith asking Kayla Montgomery questions. So this is a continuation from Friday. I don't find this boring at all. Friday did seem, it got a little bit long. Friday was like, oh my word, round and round. But actually, you can kind of see it's very important to ask Kayla many questions, the same questions round and round, because she gives slightly different answers each time. It's like, wait a minute, So for a baby love, thank you so much. So if you're only joining now, welcome. I hope that you enjoy your time here with us. Please, even though the topic is totally grim, thank you for being here with us. I hope you'll consider subscribing, becoming part of this community. And I offer defluffed trial coverage. Like for this trial, we're starting 2.5 or 3 hours after the normal start time so that we can just skip over lunch and coffee breaks and things like that. Thank you for sharing your thoughts in chat as well. If you see me looking to the side like this, it's because I'm reading the chat the whole time, just in case you haven't wondered. I'm reading what you guys are saying. So thank you for sharing your thoughts here with us.
We're at the clinic at 7.
She's like me. I'll be reading the
And
chat.
then Burger
posting
King
it
and then
too.
the Colonial.
Yes.
Some people don't do
And
that.
so you were at the Colonial parking lot for a few hours or a couple of hours before you left for wherever it was you were going.
I don't think we were there that long.
I think they said they were there for like 20 to 25 minutes. We read that probable cause affidavit together before, and we just reminding ourselves of the timeline. If you're not sure which date they're talking about now, they're specifically referring to December 7th of 2019, the day that Harmony was allegedly murdered by Adam Montgomery. He's the one on trial. This is the state's star witness. She's the only other person who would actually know what happened, And her and Adam covered everything up for 2.5 years. And then they were arrested in January of 2022. And it was when she was in prison that she wrote this letter, which I think was late 2022 or sometime in 2023. If you know the exact date, remind me, please. She wrote like a note that they found in a search of her cell that she wishes she could just make love to Adam one last time and all of that, kiss him and gross, man. After all that, seriously, she covered up for him and helped him to do terrible things. Okay, so yes, she's not the one on trial, but I mean, if she doesn't stick to the plea agreement, she could be at some stage. So yes, it's good that she's talking, but she better not to have selective memory. Please just share what you know. For once, do the right thing for Harmony. There must be justice for 5-year-old Harmony who lost her life in the most terrible way. She was murdered, and she had such a short life, and there was so much suffering in it. My goodness.
Do you recall the tow truck driver, do you recall going back to the intersection and the tow truck driver was there?
You're talking about after the car broke down?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I remember when we got brought back.
Okay. And that was like after 12:30 or so, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And how long did it take you to walk to Mr. Vadero's from the car?
I don't know. It felt like a long walk. I don't remember how long.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. In that time that you were in the Colonial parking area on the 6th prior to the car breaking down, Harmony was in the car, but she was dead, right?
No.
Is this?
It seems fascinating. They would broke.
Yes. Okay, we've got a sidebar to zoom through
Full
here.
time.
Pardon? To using drugs.
There we go. So Valkyrie says, if the defense succeeds in making the jury hate Kayla, they might buy the story that she killed Harmony and quit Adam. But do you guys feel, let's pretend we the jury, right? That's like we represent the international public, you know? So if I was listening to all this, I know we have some background information that the jury doesn't have, okay? But him not being there in the courtroom, I don't think that does him any favors. I really just don't. They're probably like, wait, what? And they're hearing all about this guy and all about the things he did. They saw pictures of Kayla's face all beaten up and all that. You know, so I think if they succeed in making the jury hate Kayla, I don't think, in my opinion, that'll make them hate Adam any less. It will just probably make them want her to be on trial too.
Sorry. Harmony was on the 7th, between your 7 o'clock session at the clinic, dosage at the clinic, to Burger King, to the parking lot, to using drugs, to late morning driving away.
Yes.
Harmony was dead in the car, right?
Not throughout that whole time.
Pardon?
Not throughout the whole time.
She was actually in the trunk of the car, right?
What?
Were you and Adam planning or trying to figure out what you could do with Harmony because she had died?
No, that didn't happen yet.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that was exactly what.
So,
Oh my word, the way she says it. She always gets like defensive, and she really talks down to this defense attorney. Like, no, that didn't happen yet. Okay, but realize, Kayla, what you're talking about. You're talking about, no, Harmony didn't die yet before we put her in the duffel bag. What? Oh my goodness. Wow.
Right? The chick is
It
crazy.
doesn't make any sense.
somewhere important you had to go with Harmony.
Okay, looking at the judge getting snarky. It doesn't even make any sense. I would behave if I were you, Kayla.
In the car, and you break down at the intersection, right? The car
I didn't
does.
have anywhere important to go.
Okay. So at the intersection, there's Webster and Elm Street, right?
Yes.
Elm Street is a big road, 4-lane.
Yes.
4-lane in the sense that it has turning lanes, right?
Yes.
And Webster is smaller, 2-lane.
Well, it was still 2 lanes where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it changes. And so you were on Webster getting ready to get onto Elm Street.
I don't remember which way we were going, but I knew we were at the light. First car at the light.
So you don't know if you were in the 4-lane part or the 2-lane part of Elm Street or the 2-lane part of Webster?
We were right on Webster at the light.
Okay. And the light turns green and the car doesn't go.
Right.
And there are cars around you
Yes.
honking,
Yes.
looking at you.
No, they were just figuring out why the car was there. We had to keep telling them to drive around.
Okay. So you and Adam are sort of waving them around,
Yes.
or you're waving them around?
I was waving them around to go around the car.
Okay. And Adam, I think you said, got the duffel bag out of the trunk?
Yes.
Because the duffel bag was in the trunk, right?
Yes.
So Caroline here says, think about it. Adam is going to say he covered for evil Kayla, being as he is a stand-up guy and all. How is he going to say Kayla forced him to do this stuff? Yeah, I don't know how he's going to say that, but the problem is that Kayla's like a little streak of, I don't know, anger coming through here and the snark and just mouthing off at the council is really not doing her any favors right now either. Her behavior also matters on the stand. If she continues like this, she could look like a very evil step monster then, you know what I mean? She could be like a Letitia at this rate, especially with how agitated she's currently getting and how just disconnected she is from what really happened. I've just been like, yeah, she wasn't in the duffel bag yet type of thing. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. What's your tone? Okay, let's keep going.
But Harmony's body was in that duffel bag already.
No.
Overruled.
You tell Adam,
Not yet,
well,
Barbara.
I think
I had a nutrient bar this
Adam asked you what
morning
to do, right?
and a little piece of
Yes.
This is
watermelon.
a pretty bad situation, right?
But I'm not.
Right.
I'm
With
gonna cut
Harmony
this short
in the
today
car like she was.
because this is my
Yes.
third live.
And
today.
Adam asked you what to do.
Right.
And you tell
Yeah, I
him
gotta eat
that
something.
you should.
Yes.
Thank you, babe, for asking me. I appreciate that.
Ooh, objection time.
Boy,
Because
this
the
is
defense is
probably
starting
the
to
most
say
cold-hearted
things like
woman I have
you
ever seen.
suggested
Yes,
to put Harmony's body in the duffel bag. Oh my word, what a scary
that's
sentence,
your
right?
baby girl.
Sure, Daniel, thank you so much. The cloning
And I made
fund.
a
Oh, do we need
doctor's
more of me?
appointment.
Okay.
I
Cover
know
2 or
she
3
was
trials
so
at one time.
concerned that
The
she
decent
didn't
way.
even check on her
Thank you so
just
much.
to do throw a sandwich at her.
Sure, this
Liar,
attitude.
pants on
No, lady.
fire. She
Okay, we're
remember
skipping ahead.
everything. She's lying. She only doesn't remember when it's convenient for
That's a long
her.
sidebar.
Said that, yup. That makes
I'm
me
going to approach first,
sick
Your Honor.
to my stomach.
Selena
Point
Kay
dead.
says she was like a totally different
Nobody's
person when the
here,
prosecutor was
but they
questioning her.
go Harmony
Truly
in the
was.
duffel
Truly
bag.
was, right?
Nobody's
Yes,
singing.
indeed.
And that's another
Okay,
thing,
let's go more
Megan. That's so true. Nobody saw nothing. All this stuff they did to that little girl,
I'm going to
cutting
show
her
you a
body
copy
up and all that. Nobody saw shit.
of the transcript of your June 3rd interview.
The hell? Somebody had to see something. But then she got yelled at. What about the little girl?
And ask you again to review.
Right, she got yelled at, but what about
and I'm
that
going to ask
baby?
you a question, and that is the area.
She can't remember heroin or fentanyl, but not crack. Give me a break. Barbara said she could remember heroin or fentanyl, but not crack. Give me a break. Exactly. And she claims that the intersection was super busy.
Okay.
Y'all
And-
go her ass. I know that's right.
You
Get
know,
her,
someone
y'all.
just
Get
reminded
her.
me that remember that Kayla already knew Adam from high school. So that resentment that she has towards Crystal,
I'm listening. I'm
had
sharing the
Harmony
video
with,
out.
because we know she's a jealous type. She's admitted that herself, right? I mean, the only reason she started talking to the police was, well,
Just
to
to
save her own
different groups
ass,
and stuff.
as part of her agreement with Adam of what they would do if the stuff hit the fan. And then also because he'd moved on. But they knew each other and I believe dated each other in high school. And then he, at some point, got Crystal pregnant. Ooh, that
Yeah, they
resentment she
knew.
had
That's
in her,
right. They
I
knew
would
each other
not
from high school.
be surprised if she resented Harmony too. You know? Oh my goodness. Like, really? Maybe a step monster? Yes.
To step
You told-
monster. I like that.
Adam that you should go to Badero's,
I
right?
asked him if we should.
Okay. So it was your idea. Right?
Yeah.
And you gathered, Adam grabbed a duffel bag from the trunk.
Yes.
You got your purse and stuff from the trunk.
No, my purse was not in the trunk.
Okay. So you got your purse and you got some stuff from the trunk. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You got some diapers for the kids,
Yes.
and you couldn't take too much with you because you were walking with all the kids to Mr. Badero's.
Right.
And you can't,
Sure. When they say you were walking with all the kids to Mr. Badero's, one's in a duffel bag, if you guys remember the timeline. Also, I see some people sometimes confuse the word accident, right? Saying like Harmony had accidents in the back of the car and then Adam hit her and all of that. That's December 7th of 2019. And it's not the day that they had a car accident. The car accident was on November 29th and on December 2nd they had another one. Okay, but there's a car accident they had on November 29th. So it's not the same day as the car accident. Car accident November 29th. December 7th of 2019, Harmony apparently had an accident in her pants, right? Which they said happened regularly, and Adam would get more and more angry, and he beat her that day until she died, is what the accusations are. And Kayla seems to be the only person, yes, that was there, the only other adult that knows what happened. But you think that after the car broke down on that day, Harmony had already, there was a blanket over her and everything, and then the car broke down. So then they had to walk back to that Colonial Village apartments. That's a very scary thought as well.
wait around for any kind of help because you have to get Harmony's body away from that car as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to talk to you about discovering that Harmony was dead. I think on direct, you said that Adam opened the door and said something like, baby girl, wake up, or wake up, baby girl.
Yes.
And she wasn't moving.
Right.
And that's when he popped open the trunk, you said.
The trunk wouldn't open.
It did eventually, though, right?
We moved the car seat out of the car so that he could move the seat to get into the trunk.
Okay. And Adam checked her breathing.
He was just trying to wake her and she wouldn't wake up.
Okay. Do you remember Adam saying that Adam put his hand over her heart?
No.
And so that didn't happen? You don't have a recollection of Adam putting his hand over her heart?
No, I don't.
Okay. But you did tell the police that in June of 23rd that he put his hand over her heart to check her.
He was checking her, but she wasn't waking up.
Okay. So he did put his hand over her heart to check her.
He tried waking her up. I don't remember the hand on the heart.
Okay.
Doobie and Max, yes, baby girl is a sign of endearment, which I guess the defense is trying to point that out, but I don't believe that. And either way, Adam being like, baby girl, you're a kid. Yeah, right. After all that, right? Sure. But yes, thank you so much for the sticker.
Do you remember telling the police on June of 2023 that he checked her breathing and like put his hand on her heart?
No.
Okay, I'm going to show you. Copy of that same transcript, okay? And ask you to review that paragraph there, okay?
Stefan says, I'm pretty sure she didn't call Harmony baby girl. That was a power move from the defense, right? To be like, and he said, which Kayla's like, yes, baby girl, wake up and all that. Ooh, this is putting Kayla in the spotlight, like kind of like Letitia's vibes. Oh, like the evil step monster type vibe, right? I think this defense is doing pretty well today, actually.
I still don't remember that, but I can see that I said that, but I don't remember it happening.
Okay. But what you told the police back in June of 2023, you were telling them as if it was a memory, right?
Right.
So either it wasn't a memory or that memory is gone.
I don't remember.
Isn't it amazing what she remembers and doesn't remember? Like she snarkily remembers, no, we don't pop open the trunk. It wouldn't open. Or like, of course, Adam was hungry. Oh, so you remember that, but you don't remember anything else that's important. Like anything about Harmony. And even at the point of walking back after the car broke down, where's Harmony? In the duffel bag? I mean, that is so scary. No, can't remember how long they were there, what they did, what all of that. There's so many times where she's like, can't remember. Sure, but you remember other small details, right? It's very interesting.
And you also checked Harmony, and she wasn't breathing.
Right.
You checked her neck and you checked her wrists.
Yeah.
And you were looking for a pulse.
Yeah.
Must have been panicking.
Yeah.
Did you do that before or after you were waving cars around?
After.
Okay. So after you have checked Harmony, you're saying that you went to the back of the car and you're sort of moving, waving cars around to get them around your car.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long did you do that?
Until we got the stuff out of the car that we needed to get out.
Okay. So are you doing that while Adam is getting stuff out of the car?
No, we're both on each side of the car doing the same thing, trying to get stuff out.
Which side of the car were you on?
I don't remember.
Okay. And you claim that as these cars are going around and beeping and everything, that Adam put Harmony into a duffel bag.
Yes.
And the four of you walked to Colonial Village.
Right.
But how is that possible? With Harmony, them checking she's no longer alive, and then she says, oh yeah, okay, the four of you walked to Colonial Village. That makes sense. Kayla, Adam, and the two boys. And she's like, yes. Oh my word, she's so disconnected from her. She's as cold as can be. Wow. I think the defense is doing a good job. Not that I'm not, I know that people then fear, well, what does that mean? Will Adam be acquitted? Even if he's found not guilty, which I think is extremely unlikely based on just the whole picture. Everything's bad. I think what she's saying is interesting and puts her in a very bad light, but I don't think it makes Adam look any better. Unless he comes out, like I still think he might, in those shackles that he
I
requested
said that
instead
too,
of a leg
Barbara.
brace, and acts like this,
She was
I don't know,
jealous.
protective guy who fought for his daughter for like 4
Jealous
years.
of Harmony.
And, why would he do this? And it was all her. Let's see if that ever happens. He could come out the way that he spoke to the judge that time, and says he looks forward to his trial to refute these offensive claims. Whoa. The defense. They're asking some interesting things today. I do not find it boring at all. I know some people say it's boring. On Friday, I found it slightly boring because that felt like round and round. We know she's a liar. We know. But today, I think they're making some progress.
Now, on direct, you said that you never saw Harmony bleed.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay. Did you ever see blood on her?
Not that I remember.
Okay. And you told the police that while Adam was throwing stuff in the back and cleaning the car, that, well, you told the police that Adam was putting stuff in the bag and cleaning the car, right?
After
What?
after we got to Anthony's and he brought us back to the car to get stuff out
Uh-huh.
and he cleaned it.
Okay. And you said that he cleaned the back seat because he had blood on his hands from hitting Harmony.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Now you don't remember that? That sounds pretty significant. And trigger warning. When Kayla on Friday talked about Adam taking Harmony's body out of the duffel bag that was wrapped in trash bags to, put her in a smaller bag, Kayla remembered a lot of details there. She said that she could still see it was her. The decomposed remains still had hair and teeth. She could see it was Harmony. Her face was puffy and blue and all. She said all kinds of details, but now she can't remember that. You can't remember the blood on Adam's hands. Can't remember that. Don't remember. But popping the trunk? No, that never happened. Of course not. Then she gets all defensive.
Oh, that's okay. It was short.
Oh, this is hectic, you guys.
Barbara. Joe Osteen.
Okay, put some.
Joe Osteen's church was shot at, and the little girl that I did the missing report on before, I did another one because her biological mother reached out to me. But you could just go back and look at those videos if you like. And as I'm talking to y'all, another mother just reached out. Wow, I gotta answer that.
Sidebar.
The car after.
Okay. And he had blood on it, and you said that.
Okay. Yeah, Luna says, can't remember the lies. The truth is easy to remember, which Amanda Tabor also said earlier. She doesn't remember those lies. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Stella, he was indeed.
You were asked what Adam was cleaning, and you said that the back seat because he had blood on his hands from hitting Harmony, right?
I don't remember that day of him doing that. I just remember cleaning the car after.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the questions, and then we'll do some more. You said that Harmony had a bloody nose, and he had blood on his hands from hitting her, and he was wiping the seat with a napkin, right?
Overruled. I don't remember it that day that she passed away that was happening.
Okay. And
oh, not that day. How about all the other days then? Because she's sure implying there were a lot of days. Sure, one could go down that rabbit hole. Right?
You were asked if Badero said anything about Adam's bloody hand, right?
Not that day.
Okay, I'll go through. And you said no, he had already cleaned up his hands because that event, the bloody nose thing, happened days before, right?
Right.
And you were asked more about whether Harmony had blood on her on her that day.
Right.
And you said you saw dried blood on her face, right?
Right.
And you said that that was the day the car broke down that you saw dried blood on her face.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to go through the transcript and ask about some of those other things that you didn't remember and see if it refreshes your recollection.
Approach.
Tara says, what do you remember? Yeah, FFS. What do you remember? Exactly. Wow. Goodness me. Anna said she starts looking nervous. Anonymous said should charge and trial them together. Yeah, they should. But unfortunately, she's the only one who can tell. So they had to make a deal with her, which is a self-serving deal, so that, she could talk. Otherwise, they would never know any of this information and wouldn't have anything to go on for the investigation. Unfortunately. What a fright she'll get if Adam completely turns on her, huh? I think there's a part of her that still thinks she's like being loyal to him somehow. Yeah, if he comes out and does take the stand, yeah, he'll turn on her so fast.
I'm going to show you. Again, it's that transcript from June 23rd. And ask you to review portions of that transcript. And I'm going to show you 229 down to all of 229 and 230.
Slick says she seems to not remember things that have her in close contact with the situation. You live in a car, you would know what abuse was happening. She expands on her answers. She incriminates herself. Yep. That's a good point. Denny says, can you imagine him on the stand on cross? He will lose his poop on the stand on cross. Okay.
Tell the police. That help refresh your recollection?
Yeah.
And so you did tell the police that Harmony had a bloody nose and had blood on it. He had blood on his hands and was wiping the seat with a napkin.
Yeah, but that happened days before. That happened before she died.
Sure. But the wiping was on when the tow truck driver was there?
Yeah, when we went back to the car,
Okay.
I remember cleaning.
Okay. And it was for the blood that was on the car?
I don't remember what it was for. Adam just wanted to clean it.
Okay. But you recalled that you did see blood, you said, on Harmony's face,
Yeah.
right? And it was that day, right?
Yes.
And where you saw Adam cleaning was around the area that Harmony was sitting, right?
Right.
And you said that Adam had blood on his face that day? I mean, on his fist that day?
Yeah, on his hand.
And that Harmony had blood on her face?
Dried blood, yeah.
Right. But not from days before. Are you saying she had dry blood from days before?
Yeah, she had dry blood on her face.
From days before?
Yeah.
Oh my word. Yeah. Didn't even help clean that. This is horrifying. It's getting worse. So she had dried blood on her face from days before, from all the other times, that Adam allegedly hit her for making accidents in the back of the car. Okay. And if she had toilet accidents in the back, yeah, whatever. We had just either put her clothes in a bag or just left her lying in it, as she said. Sure, God, this way this woman talks, I don't know, man. Just remember, it's my opinion. I also have the right to my opinion. I try my very best to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Just like Uncle Kevin. I know people are like snarking at him. He should have done better. He should have known. He looked terrified. He looked horrified and super guilty, right? Try my best. I did give Kayla the benefit of the doubt all of Friday. I have since changed my mind after hearing the evidence, the things that she's saying herself. I've changed my mind. If it hasn't changed your mind, that's perfectly okay. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just watching the trial with you. I'm hosting this trial so that we could watch it together and discuss it. I want to hear what you think. I want to tell you what I think, right? This person is looking like freaking Letitia at this point. I mean, like, what in the hell is she even saying? It just gets so bad. And we thought Friday was the worst. It's really one of those, like, could it get worse? That's what I said to my husband, Raphael. He's sitting here, by the way, and both cats are here too. I said to him on Friday night, because obviously I finish these streams very late, at midnight or 1 a.m. So I go there and I say,
Yeah, that's
you
what
think
time.
that this case was
Wow.
bad enough? Because I tell him a little bit, it's worse. Every day gets worse. And I hope next week doesn't get even worse. It's getting worse, you guys. It's so bad. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate that we can watch this trial together. And I really hope that there will be full justice for Harmony.
Hope
It's hard to
so.
call her Harmony Montgomery as well, right? With her being a Montgomery and Adam being a Montgomery. I think I'm just going to call her Harmony. Sure.
And you never cleaned her face for days?
No, you just kept her under the blanket.
Okay.
Look at her face. She's kind of like, what?
Right. That
It's
was
almost
about
like
to
she's
say
used to
that
being the
shit.
most hated person in the room,
Like,
especially by now. And she's like, I don't
yeah.
care. What? Yeah. We just covered her with a blanket. Okay. And then tell me, how was she supposed to ask to go to the bathroom? Because you don't. I'm speculating. They would tell her you cannot go to the bathroom in the day. You can only go at night, so they can sneak in somewhere and hopefully, or make them go in the bushes or on the snowbank or wherever. It's so terrible. Shame, man.
All right. I'm going to have to
Now
cut
you said
this,
yesterday,
guys.
Friday.
I'm going to have to. We usually finish the whole thing until like 1 in the morning, but not today. Earlier, even during the other two lives, my head was hurting, my blood pressure. Yeah, so I got to eat something. I did make a doctor's appointment for Thursday morning. Cause something's definitely not right. Cause I'm starting to get headaches again, even when I have taken my migraine medicine. So I'm just gonna end this, and we will continue again tomorrow. All right. Sorry, ladies. We usually go through the whole thing. The whole thing. And like she said, it doesn't end till 1 in the morning. But yesterday I wasn't on at all. Cause as I said earlier, I was feeling very bad yesterday. I was horrible. Was not doing good yesterday. So I don't want to overdo myself. So we would definitely finish it up. All right, ladies. This is so emotional too, and it's so draining, but we getting there. It's poor baby, man. It's poor baby. Ugh. And then another thing, the Solos trial. Um, we got to talk about that because thank you, Katie, for sending me that information. I'll talk about that tomorrow about what I heard. But the Savannah Sotos, yeah, that trial, they should be getting that stuff going, and yeah. So we gotta talk about that too. And then we got the Cody trial that's in March. And y'all know I'm not missing that. So I want to do this trial every day until it, because I want to see the Cody trial too. So we got a lot of stuff to cover. And I have other cases to cover because I just had two parents just reach out to me as I'm doing this reaction video with you guys of a case that I just covered. So I have to get back with her as well. But I think I'm gonna have to get back with her tomorrow. Um, but I adore you guys so much. And thank you for just being here. It's not easy hearing this because I know it ain't easy for me. So I know it ain't easy for y'all. And for y'all to hear it the second time or third time around what this thing up here, I can't even call her a woman or a mother because she is not that. But let me go, y'all. I'll set the live up for tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, because my head is really like bothering me from here, and now it's going down here. So I'm just, yeah. Peace, guys. I don't want to keep complaining on here, so peace out.